Welcome everyone to another RGL cast. My name is Jarrett. I'm here with TC Mono to bring you guys playoffs. It's been a long and hard 9 weeks for these teams, but it's about to all be over in the span of two. That's right. Playoffs this season is going to be done land style and prep for land that is going to be happening next season. Everything all said and done in just a couple, or hopefully only a couple hours. Could be a short 3 hours today or a very long 9 hours, depending on how things go. But we have three BO3s today, starting with Witness Gaming versus Leica G6. We've actually saw them recently earlier this week where they decided who was going to end up as the second seed overall, and it was a pretty close game on Sunshine, so I'm really excited to see what the two teams are able to bring to the table going into the first match today.
Yeah, I 100% agree. This is one of my matchups I'm looking forward to the most this whole playoffs. Like obviously grand finals is going to be grand finals, but Witness Gaming versus like a G6, I think ever since the culmination of that previous LAN where like a G6 maybe defied a bit of expectations coming in second and beating Witness Gaming on LAN. So now I've been looking at Witness Gaming, they maybe have a little bit of something to prove against this G6 roster. Obviously, they did take that previous game earlier in the week that you casted, Jarrett. So it is going to be interesting to see in this playoffs environment with kind of more like a land setting with this weekend setup we got going. If Witness Gaming can do it again, or like G6 can bring the magic and get into the upper bracket semifinals. But I guess we can go over the rosters because there have been a few switch ups in the lineup since maybe you last saw them, depending on if you saw them when they played this week. So I guess I'll go down the Witness Gaming roster. So on Witness Gaming, you're gonna have Brand Slam as your pocket scout. High Five is gonna be your flank scout. He's coming in to replace Alpha, who replaced Yite. So a bit new to the roster, but he's played with a lot of these players, so it's not that big switch up. You've got Laz and Ash are gonna be your soldiers, Roamer and Pocket respectively. Artist is gonna be your demo man, and then finally Lol guy on medic. And if you want to go over the like a G6 roster.
And for the side of G6, you have Bot Mode and Caps on Scout, Soapy Meister on Soldier. Zilly is actually going to be playing Pocket instead of Rakuso, who's no longer with G6. You have Logan on Doman and Howard on Medic. So for the side of G6, it's Zilly taken the new spot. He actually displayed his talents earlier this week in their Sunshine match and did a pretty good job. So we'll have to see with these teams making, I guess, later in the season switch ups, how they're able to, put themselves against each other head to head. It's always I have a hard agree with you when it comes to one of the more anticipated matches this
Yeah.
season when it comes to playoffs. Like you said, the whole LAN deal, G6 had the upset, and then of course throughout the season, Witness Gaming were kind of on top of things, but G6 is not only closing the gap, making the matches a little bit closer. Their scrims, I think, if you care about scrims, have been pretty impressive for the most part. And I think the switch ups from both the rosters kind of throw a wrench in a lot of people's predictions plans because everyone knows it only takes one player to kind of remake a team sometimes. So this is where you pull out all the stops. If you're holding anything back at all, there's various degrees of
Little plays, little
little plays and individual effort that a person is wanting to put in when it comes to regular season compared to playoffs. So
yeah.
this is where you pull out all the stops, don't hold back, all cards lay out on the table, and this is where
Yeah.
you get to really see the potential of not only the teams but the individual players themselves, which is extremely, extremely hype.
Yeah, you're gonna see all of them probably try their hard and try and get into that upper bracket semifinals. It is interesting, just if Jarrett, because this is a weekend tournament. Maybe some of these players are not used to playing TF2 so early in the day on a weekend. That's not a land. Do you think maybe long the kind of back-to-back nature of some of these games might get to the players? Obviously, we're just starting out, so they should be fresh-faced. They should be ready to go. But I think that might be a factor as we go later into this playoffs weekend.
Uh, I think for the most part, the only thing that would really heavily, heavily affect them is most of the time because the games are later on in the day. You've at least had a little bit of time to uh, maybe DM or pug before scrims, and then you play your scrims, and then you go ahead and play your matches in your full capacity, the best you can be. But in this scenario, I don't really think any scrimming happens, like, usually, especially in, like, a LAN setting where everything is earlier, even though this is online, there's not
Yeah.
really a whole lot of, like, scrims that happen right before the matches, especially because you're playing so many matches in a row, you don't wanna, like, accidentally burn out. You kinda just try to shape up in the middle of the match to the best of your ability. So it's gonna be interesting, that's another thing to think about for at least the first matches, how, you play now compared to how you might play at the end of the day, because you'll have a full day's worth of TF2, to go through to warm up and get yourself to tip-top shape, so we'll get to kinda see how that develops over the course of time, but otherwise, I don't think it's gonna be a big deal, like, the amount of TF2 played where it's, maybe a couple BO3s in a row, it's probably not gonna be a big deal, because of
Mm.
how much these players pug, but, let's look over the map pick bans. We haven't really talked
Yeah.
about the map that's gonna be played today at all, so we can get to see, what the teams have banned and picked that will lead us to the BO3 that we're gonna be playing today.
Yeah, so looking at it, it looks like Witness Gaming banning Badlands, like G6 banning Metalworks. The first pick is gonna be Snakewater. That was Witness Gaming's pick, like G6 picking process, and then they ban out the rest of the maps until it is left with product. So, bit of an interesting one there. What do you think of those map pick bans, Jared? I think some of them make sense, like banning Badlands from Witness Gaming, like a G6. Oddly enough, probably had the most experience on that out of a two team, so that kind of makes sense. But Snake and Process, kind of fairly standard maps, nothing kind of out of ordinary, like a sneaky gully pick or a Metalworks. And then the last map being Product. What do you make of that? Do you think any team got the better of the map pick bans, or do you think it's kind of even playing across the board?
I think almost all of these map picks and bans really make sense. It seems to me like the path to success for G6 lies a little bit in their scouts. So if you just go through the rundown of all the pick bands, this is me kind of just pulling stuff out of thin air, but I'm using the best of my ability to make educated guesses on the thought process of how
Mm.
things actually went down.
Yeah.
So bear with me. For Badlands, it has been in the pool for a long while. It's also kind of an upset map because of the way that mids can be kind of wishy-washy if you haven't been like pugging and grinding nonstop to know the ins and out with it as a team, especially because it's very team focused and it can be hard to bounce back out of last. So you just don't want to have to
Yeah,
deal with
last is
that.
hard to push out of.
G6 bans Metalworks, they lost that map and it was relatively convincingly. They only got one round on it, so it kind of makes sense that if you don't think that you can find a way to flip that on its head and turn it around and take the map instead, that you just get it out of the pool immediately. For the side of Snake, it's a pretty simple map for the most part and pretty standard. And when you put pretty simple and standard for the side of Witness Gaming, it really makes sense since they're on paper should be the better team than G6 according to how the online season has gone so far. And with G6 being such a scout centric team, they had much more success on Sunshine than they did on Metalworks. It kind of makes sense that you give a process a chance to put that in the pool because it's almost a Sunshine clone in some areas with how much room that your scouts have to work around and soldier ship around the skybox and things like that. And for how close Sunshine was, makes sense. Get rid of that out of the pool. You don't want, one little change to happen for the side of G6, and all of a sudden they take that map and kind of sweep things under the rug in that regard. And then Gully Wash,
Yeah.
complete opposite of giving your scouts free reign. You can get locked down pretty easily, and that doesn't necessarily play into their hand. Bagel ban, G6 literally just played Froyo in a scrim on Bagel recently, like within the past week or so, I think, and beat them on it 4-0. It was pretty
Oh
close. It,
wow.
it wasn't a sweep, like they fought tooth and nail for it, but it definitely shows that they have some prowess on this
They
map, and
got something up their sleeve there.
yeah, and it's probably not a map you want to play G6 on, all things considered, right now. And then re- product. What more can you say? It's scout map. It's
Yeah.
Koth, and right now G6 seems to like be pretty fine with Koth. So I think everything pretty much makes sense here. But all things considered, it's really gonna come down to the first two maps, obviously. Even though that I feel like the strongest lean forward to like, oh yeah, they got this, is probably the third map. I think product for G6 makes tons of sense and could be very very good for them. But they got to get through the first two first.
Yeah, they definitely do. So we're going to be looking to pick up one of those as Snakewater or Process. First map is going to be Snakewater, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. So going to be technically in Witness's favor. Though I do think it should be still fairly close between the two. I'm gonna be looking for that soldier aggression on mid. You know, those classic double soldier high bombs that maybe Laz and Ash are kind of notorious for. That soldier synergy. Do you think I guess as we can start moving into more Snake or specific stuff, do you think the soldier duo of Laz and Ash is going to be a bit better than Zilly and Soapy Meister, only because Zilly is such a late addition, you know, to the roster that they might have a bit of an edge in that kind of a soldier head to head?
Uh, it's possible. I think for the most part, on paper, like, just going into things, you kind of expect, like, Laz and Ash to shine because against most teams, they kinda do. Although, Soapy has been popping off as well as Zilly, and even though they haven't been playing together on a team for a long while, they're not necessarily strangers to each other, and they could get their stuff together pretty quickly. Also been shown that, as much as, Ash and Laz are hyped up for a long while, especially off of the victory they got seasons ago where they showed insane synergy, that it's totally possible to find a way to counter witness gaming, and it's been shown that if you find a way to just like prevent them from doing a whole lot, I guess more particularly Laz, since Ash kind of plays in the backseat and lets Laz do some of the initiating sometimes.
Mm,
I've seen plenty of times where if Laz does not get to do what he intends, the witness gaming plan B is not necessarily nearly as strong depending on what the map is. So there are
yeah,
paths for the side of G6 to kind of have a handle on things and make sure that they're in control of, not just getting landed on, double bombed, and immediately melting, but they got to figure out what is the correct avenue to take to make sure that actually happens. It's easier said than done in some regards. Most of the time, the team that really does that to win this gaming for the most part is Froyotech,
bro,
and
yeah,
Froyotech is Froyotech, so it's a whole different ball game when it's
yeah,
comes to putting things into practice. So I think things are possible for the side of G6 to try to eventually take a map off of Witness Gaming Online and beat Witness Gaming in their pick. Although I will say that due to the fact that they're probably the favorite team, plus this is their pick, they probably have a more fleshed out game plan for the side of Snakewater. So
yeah.
I think it makes sense to have things a little bit more favored for the side of Witness Gaming, but I'm really curious about mid game and halftime adjustments that G6 will try to implement to put themselves on a better track, because I think the beginning might be a little rough, but we'll see.
Yeah, so you think the player for G6 to kind of like watch out for is definitely Laz, and if they can get Laz, they might be able to stop that witness gaming aggression, or maybe the plays that they've got set up. Because you're right, you know, witness gaming did pick this map, so obviously they have some reasoning for thinking they're better. You know, maybe if that's a mid strategy or if that's a just the way that they've been feeling on the map lately, the way they think like a G6 has been feeling on the map lately. You know, they got some type of edge, whether it's only theoretical or an actual edge coming into this, gonna, you know, probably put them in the driver's seat. But I am gonna be, like you said, interested on the mids to see what each soldier duo does going in here, as we do have a lot of the players in the server, and as we're just waiting for them to ready up. I am going to ask you for a bit of predictions. You did mention that you believed that this was going to be slightly witnessing favored. I would go ahead and say maybe a 4-3 for Witness Gaming, but I'm interested to hear what you would say the scoreline is going to be.
Um, I kind of feel like unless there's some serious ramp ups, I think things are going to be a bit difficult for G6. And even though they can
Mm,
put things on the board, I'll probably say like a 5-2 in favor of Witness Gaming. I think it's gonna be one
okay.
of those things potentially where G6 G6 will eventually find their stride, I think, but there we see constantly the halftime deficit, you know? If you have a really strong halftime, then things only even out in the second half, eventually you hit the 5-round win limit, and then, things are
Yeah, it's
kinda just
just
done from
over.
there.
Yeah, definitely. That halftime can be so powerful. So halftime adjustments probably going to be a huge play into this. Gonna be interested to see how the demos do as well, because you know, you can get some cheeky sticky traps in here. That nice sticky trap on in yard with the rock. It's gotten me a few times
Mm.
before. It's just blind dead out of nowhere, and then I'm dead. Um, yeah, gonna be interested to see. Do you think we're gonna see any off classes at all? Any cheeky snipers outside of last? Because you know, last class heaven. Everyone knows it. We've got some good snipers here. Obviously, high five, brand slam. Most of the scouts in the server can pull out the sniper if necessary. But do you think we're going to see any cheeky off classes? Maybe a spy from bot mode or something like that. He kind of has a tendency to go for those kind of cheeky spy plays and something working with them.
I think if we see any off-classing that's beyond last or just sitting inside a forward respawn, it'll probably come from bot mode. I feel
Mm.
like for the side of Witness, I mean, High Five could technically do it, but I think he's slightly less inclined, and it's gonna be more like bot mode that takes the reins and just like, yeah, I'll go for a sniper play and like try to snipe their medic from lower or like things like that, just to break a mid to second stalemate or something like that. So I think it's totally possible. Um, the question is how early would you actually pull something like that out?
True.
Because there's I think something to be said about the level in which you off-class how early on, because I think teams slightly like, they expect it a bit more as things go awry, that let's say you win
Yeah.
a half 3-0 and you kind of expect, "Alright, expect weird stuff," like, they're gonna go spy, they're gonna go sniper, they're gonna do things differently to
Go
try
for
to
the
get round on the
unexpected
board.
plays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll go for back caps, and in that way, because they are thinking about it more, it makes it slightly harder to pull off if they're, like, prepped. But if you kinda pull things out of the gate, even though you don't necessarily need to do anything crazy or wacky or unconventional, the fact that people don't think about it as being a thing that a team would necessarily do means that you have the surprise factor once again, and it could actually work out. So,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about the pacing of it, in terms of, how quickly we'll see it, although bot mode is pregame on sniper when he could be on scout, so things are looking promising if you're a sniper fan.
Yeah, we might see some nice head clicking action. Definitely agree on the unexpectedness of Spy early in the game, casting in an Australian game along not too long ago actually, and they went Spy to mid and they got the demo, which is definitely a way to start off your game. It was like Prem in Australia as well, so I get maybe it's a thing over there. Not quite sure, but as we do have 12 in the server, we already have a one of them ready up, gonna be waiting to go live here of the first map of this weekend playoffs race. Gonna be Witness Game versus Leica G6, and yeah, I'm really excited for this to see how it turns out, Jared. Just watching them frag in the pregame, getting all of their mice is ready and just getting their aim.
This is basically their scrim, this DM.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's probably, like, on an individual basis, like, people have put in some prep, like, they've probably
Yeah.
played a little bit of TF2, like, MG or DM servers or whatever, but in terms of team synergy, like, trying to figure out, like, the best thing to do on Snakewater, that was all done, like, yesterday.
Yeah. It is interesting because you can wake up, and one day you can be super high, you can be having a really nice day. You feel like you're just hitting everything. You come up the next day, it just feels like you're missed. Or the opposite can happen as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see who turns up later into the match, whether that's them waking up or that's just them getting a bit more used to how everyone's playing and how they're playing today. It can definitely change on a day-to-day basis, but obviously, if you're at this high level, hopefully your low days are that low. You're fairly consistent. You'd like to assume.
At least for most people, like, fatigue won't be a thing. One thing that I always kinda think about in the back of my head is, like, imagine the people that work for, like, really long days, and then you have to think really heavily at nighttime. That can be
Mm.
kinda rough. Even one thing like, "Oh, no, I made an oopsie," like, that could make or break whether or not you went around depending on what it is. But considering we're, time difference in, when we're playing right now, I don't know about later tonight, but at least for now, I would have only imagined that fatigue should not really be a thing, when it comes to an important match like this, which is always, it's always gonna be nice to have a little extra. So, get to see a
Yeah.
little bit more out of, the mental of the players, make sure everything's more on point, and if there was a time to be on point, it would definitely be right now.
Yeah, definitely. As this is their a ticket into that upper bracket. It looks like we are going to be going live soon,
Under 60
and
seconds.
yeah, it's very exciting stuff here. So once again, this is going to be like a G6 versus Witness Gaming, the first map of their best of three in VAL Season 8 weekend playoffs extravaganza. Not the official title, but darned
Good
well
enough.
close to it. Yeah, close enough. Doing our best to imitate a land setting, and it's going to be interesting to see how these teams. Who are you going to be watching on this first mid, Jarrett?
I think I kinda wanna watch the demos. Snakewater mid is one of those mids where it can be kinda hard for a lot of your players to do what they need to do if there's no space. So it kinda makes me think, like, because we talked a little bit about, like, are the soldiers gonna be able to do anything? It kinda makes me think, like, "Oh, the scout's gonna be able to stand where they need to?" And that makes me think, "Oh, are they gonna get spammed by the demo?" So I'm kinda watching the Logan versus Artist in the beginning here, but we are going live, so it's not too much longer until we see the action and get to see who sets the pace at the end of this first mid.
Yes, gonna be doing that exact same thing. Watching Logan and Artist as they arrive here. Just gonna be spamming stickies across the point. Looks like we do see it is gonna be Laz going for a fake bomb across the point, just causing a bit of distraction, maybe trying to see where a Leica G6 is holding. We do see
Holy
Leica
Logan.
G6 that, oh yeah, Logan gonna be going down in that kitchen side area. We see Branslim gonna be trying aggressing above top, but he's gonna go down. Howard gonna be getting a nice pick onto an aggressing high five, as it looks like the rest of Witness Gaming just gonna be trying to escort Lol Guy back to their last. Looks like we do have some initial soldier aggression from Soapy Monster, gonna be trying to chase that pick, but he sees two soldiers there. He knows he's not going to get it, so he's just going to go to his team. And that's going to be a first mid win for Leica G6.
Oh, they're trying to fight this a little bit, or at least spam in some way. So we might see a fight here. Soapy trying to buy some space. He's actually landing on them, putting some damage over on the bat side, but he will give up his life for it. So at the end of the day, it looks like it was just a sack, and that's going to be all she wrote. It goes back to the stalemate. You know that mid, Logan, he died first, but he actually did so much damage that it set G6 in a pretty good spot in the driver's seat here. High five.
Yeah.
He's on the move a little bit. He takes a lot of damage, unable to really find anything backing up. So no counter sack for the side of Witness Gaming, and it looks like things are gonna, just chill for a little bit.
Yeah, we are going to chill. Both meds do have Uber, so we don't have to worry about an impending Uber ad push from one of them. So it is going to be technically on Leica G6 to try and worm their way onto second here. Maybe try and go for a med, maybe a key important pick.
Oh,
We do see Soapy Meister flying deep in through Saw. He does get a good rocket or two, and he does force Low Guy down onto Africa. It looks like Caps was going to maybe try and go in through Africa, but he gets a pick of his own. Laz, we do see them actually having a little of a scuffle here in Kitchen. That is going to be Artist Branslam winning the better of that. So now, Leica G6 on the back, but they are 3 down. Witness Gaming only 2. This is room for them. They try and get here. We do see High Five leading the push here with
Oh, he
Artist. They
melts!
focus fire down Logan. Oh, that's terrible. However, Howard did not use, so even if they do drop their scout here, which, yeah, Caps is going to go down, but saving grace there's that Lil Guy did use, Howard did not. But it looks like they're going to be trying to push back in here, Jared.
Yeah, G6 did not expect the level of aggression that Witness Gaming was going to show in lower, but they're trying to fight back here. They have the super ready to go. The cap does go in the favor of Witness Gaming. You have one going behind in favor of Lazarus. Team backing up. Might be a loop around here to go for a force. Pre-fired a little bit, but Howard in the corner will eventually have to use no escape, and Laz will get that force. So the rest of the Witness Gaming team pretty much out. See some skips from the soldiers, try to see if they can catch any additional player, but will not find success in that endeavor. So at the end of the day, they'll use the Uber for 1 kill. Just go ahead and recap the point, and looks like we're entering a little bit of leapfrog time now.
Yeah, we are entering a leapfrog scenario as Lol Guy and Witness Gaming have a good Uber at about 60%, and they are just getting it now. So yeah, they are moving forward into Saw area, knocking forward the traps, making sure they don't blind it on or something similar. So it's going to be interesting to see how they try and get here. Looks like Ash going to be trying to spam Zilly off of that high ground by Catwalk. They're taking their time, actually, and because of that, Howard is kind of close to Uber themselves. They do use regardless. They do get Soapy Meister. Zilly going to be exchanging it out. Actually, no, they do get 3 for that, so it's a lot better for Witness Gaming than I initially thought. Actually going to get 4. It's just going to be Caps and Howard alive, and what was looking like maybe a questionable Uber works out for Witness Gaming.
I think they tried to play greedy and 4 to get the force and escape through kitchen, but even though they juggled Artist, like his jump at the beginning wasn't even very clean, but they were still able to make sure they were able to get in there and collect, what, 4 kills? I don't think they were all kitchen, but still. Very good job from the side of Witness Gaming, and G6, they're trying to claw their way back here. They are at least able to make sure the Howard stayed alive. A little bit of deja vu, lost a lot of fuel, but the medic's still intact. The high five going behind, he's threatening the back cap. Same with Laz, creating a distraction, getting onto Logan and Howard. Second bomb coming from Ash to put the pressure on, but high five still behind, able to get clean up finally, so gonna have people from behind that are working their way back forward. So big player advantage from the side of G6, plus their Uber to try to push forward. Low Guy almost has 10% left. They're backing up very slowly. They know they can play this safe, get the Uber of their own. So they're gonna go ahead and make sure that is secured in the bag for them, and they are gonna work their way back to mid. So G6, they've made sure that the back cap attempt is thwarted. They haven't gotten their Uber forced on them. Free retake of the point, and are at least somewhat content with the stalemate that is now upon them.
Yeah, a lot better than being stuck back at your last That was a, kind of risk because even though they did have the Uber ad, we did see High Five trying to go for that back cap. Always a concern when you're pushing out of your last. So now Witness Gaming going to be trying to take a lot of presence in yard. That is going to bounce for Laz to go for a fake bomb. He does get a nice rocket off, but not onto Howard.
Oh, so
Silly so low. Damn, he's going to be taking up Soapy Meister Soup as well. He's coming back in.
Holy damage.
Oh my god, he did get a lot of damage, but they are going to be going aggressive. Howard does have to use the Uber right now. Lol Guy still has 100%. Going to be backing out into yard to make sure he doesn't get forced. Just going to be keeping tabs on all the soldiers. Zilly going to have to back up. Can't go for a play on to Lol Guy. So that is going to be a 100% Uber ad for the side of Witness Gaming and grounds for them to push onto Leica G6's last here.
That was almost really good from the side of G6, able to make sure they got... Soapy got so much damage and had a really nice flank, and Logan immediately cleaned up on it, but Howard found himself in a corner, and Laz found the perfect opportunity to make sure that force came out. So, at the end of the day, despite all the kills back and forth, Low Guy's got an Uber and Howard doesn't, so they're at the shutter, they're ready to go. This gun's only level 2, they're trying to pistol it. It's probably not going to die to a pistol, but yeah, they're ready to use this Uber. No, they're going to spam it down first. Smart.
Yeah, that is smart. Howard has about 80, so maybe if they do play this well, they might be able to get, but they are going to bomb the demo in a lot of cap time on the point. Going to have to bomb to try and get on it, but they're just going to collect the kills as they bomb into it. Finally, Howard comes up with the Uber, going to be saving everyone else. Silly and Soapy did die for that. So all around, it is going to be a slight Uber ad. Yeah, looks like they are going to be trying to try and get, they have to focus fire down this heavy, though. He's just sitting the high ground, just mowing everyone down. It is going to be Artist down. Can Lil Guy escape? I don't think so. Oh my god, he gave Caps the juke, I think. No, Caps does get the kill. So I like re-aggression, but they really had to deal with that heavy a bit sooner.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how many arrows he ate to live through that. He was, just hanging on by a thread. Just enough, though, to make sure that, he lives through it, and they're able to actually use these late picks they got onto Artist and the Low Guy. Yeah, Laz. I didn't even see that. That was almost very scary for the side of Howard. Just barely living with, 20-ish HP. But at the end of the day, staying alive. He's not going to have a pack quite yet, but he'll have one eventually. And Uber ad is still intact. And now they don't have to fear Laz because he's not able to take forwards in time. Trap in lower will find no one as they all just a 6-man through Saw for the most part. Soldier's making space, getting onto Brandslam, who's maybe overstayed his welcome, and he will be another pick. So even easier, one less person. That could be a sniper, heavy, NG, easy that could be holding Laz right now, but no. There'll be no off classes as the G6 runs their way through. Laz going for a fake bomb, not be able to get the force quite yet. No sniper on the field to get this drop out of the way, and Howard and friends are working forward. They're not quite at the point yet, but they've gotten so much space, but they've dropped Soapy and Logan and Caps. No. Finally comes out, but they've lost 3. It started off so good. They milked so far past the tower onto the point, but just the right click didn't happen in time, and the melting from Witness Gaming is able to make sure that they got them right where they want them.
Though.
But
they
bot mode salvage, he's able to get 2. He's chasing down the Low Guy. The Uber will force it. It's a complete turnaround of what the situation was. A couple people dropped before the Uber's even able to happen. And now Witness Gaming have completely lost and squandered their opportunity to get a free second. They're poking around in lobby. Brandslam's able to get one, but the rest and the reinforcements from the side of G6 are showing up in swarms. They're fighting over lobby, a little bit of spam, but I'm not sure they're really going to commit out of here. They're trying to get some damage. Tons of damage on the Caps, and he immediately melts. They found their opening. Bomb from Ash getting on Logan, dropped to 14 HP, but Zilly will eventually die, and oh my god, that shouldn't have been an attempt from the side of Witness Gaming, but G6 gave him the ample opportunity to just retake second off of a couple kills.
Yeah, and now it looks like Witness Gaming are going to be trying to push into mid here. They are going to be clearing stickies by Saw, just going to be walking their combo in while everyone else gets in through kitchen. Ash is going to go down, so it looks like Leica G6 are going to be able to push Witness Gaming back to the last. Are basically going to be even technically a bit of ad for Leica G6, but they are going to be trying to take that one-man ad they have and work it into a push or maybe a sack. They do bomb their soldiers in. Caps is going to go down. We do see Zilly bombing onto the bats area. He does get some damage out of the Artist, but a quick arrow is going to heal him up. So now looks like Witness Gaming once again going to be trying to push into the last, maybe try and do a similar thing that they did, try and get their combo in through Saw. As yeah, we do see High Five in the kitchen area. He's gotten through 3, so has Laz through lower. But Uber has been used in exchange inside while the rest of the Witness Gaming players have come in through behind. So a mini pinch going on right here. Can Leica G6 get out of here? Everyone else on Witness Gaming going to be trying to get in, but they are going to be taken down as the rest of Leica G6 flood in here, the high ground and just focusing fire down. So even with that, being a little bit better, I think, for Witness Gaming. Like a G6 holds on to their mid, as I think we are going to hold up into a more, a little bit of a permanent stalemate. But Laz is in behind, and I didn't even notice that. Oh, he's
trying
going
to dry. Oh, he's going for it. He's on to Howard. They've turned around. Oh, both scouts made sure that he was dead in the grave, and that's no Laz on the board. Same with Zilly, who went in for, just barely. Logan actually able to take down the whole guy, so no medic for the side of Witness Gaming. They got a lot of players, though. It is just Logan and Howard trying to scoop their lives through Kitchen. No scout speed, so High Five will surely catch up eventually, but is it going to be enough? The quick bomb in from Ash. I don't know if he landed exactly where he wanted to, but either way, that is an alive Howard on the pack, and they're going to have their Uber intact once again. It seems like G6's thing for now is they lose a lot of people sometimes, but Howard is able to make sure that he escapes with his Uber available. So they hold on to mid just barely, and they still have this as a tool to use to try to break into 2.
100%. That is the charge that Howard has, and that looks like they're going to be coming in through Saw right here. So this is going to be hopefully a bit better than their previous attempts. We do see Laz going in super deep. He gets a lot of damage out onto Howard. Howard is going to play so safe, but the bomb in from Ash is going to make sure that he has to use there. So now they do use their Uber. They are going to be able to get second 2 soldier kills. Lol guy is coming up on 100% himself. And so now it's going to be up to Witness Gaming to try and push out here. They got to make sure they wait for their soldiers, make sure there's no cheeky like a G6 players going in for the back cap. So they are going to be taking their time to make sure they clear all the doors, all the little cheeky corners. They've got Brad to do it, as it looks like they are going to be bombing in their demo super deep. They aren't going to really be able to get much with it. Actually, as I say that, that is going to be Zilly. Actually, no, he managed to get out and stay, reconnect back with his team. They are going to be trying to pressure this out. Zilly does go down. It looks like, yeah, bot mode as well going to be going down. And that, I like that dry attempt from the side of Like a G6, but it just did not work out in their favor.
Yeah, the execution did not quite hit the mark. Zilly immediately ate a pipe as soon as he landed, and bot mode exploded as well. So with the 2-player ad, this mid is, it's not exactly free, but they have an ample opportunity to force this Uber, and force this Uber they will. They're trying to fight another, but High Five will actually take the fight and win versus Hopi Meister. So they have, well, he didn't exactly go behind. He's met up with his team now, but it's an easy pick, and this Uber has pretty much gotten nothing. They've held on to the midpoint for a little bit longer. Bomb from Zilly trying to get a log guy, drops him to half HP, but the rest of the spam will not quite hit the mark. So 2 soldiers down, a flubbed Uber, and a Logan that might die, fighting the scout inside. Oh no, he's able to escape just barely. He surfed that rocket with 1 digit HP remaining after the rocket hit. So they'll live with a little bit, but not quite what they were looking for when it came to that mid fight. So yeah. Logai and friends, they've worked their way through Saw for the most part. Soapy bombing in. Oh, only 1 rocket off. Logai will be A-okay, and that seems like that's going to be it for the side of G6 when it comes to trying to force this Uber on too. So they got 25% left, so maybe they can get it in the middle of this Uber, but Witness Game is going very quick through lower.
Yeah, through lower. They are a huge high bomb from the side of Laz, just making a bunch of space. Zilly going to be collapsing up on him. Zilly actually getting 2. Be sure they do have a lot of cap time on the point, and now, yeah, that late game heavy, but Uber is forced out from the side of G6, but at the end of the day, Ubers are it's going to be even, so it doesn't matter that much. Their thing is making sure that they don't cap your last, which they have successfully done. Still a 0-0 game. We're about 13 minutes in, so both of these teams fighting tooth and nail to not be the first one to lose a round. So we are going to see a bit more of a stalemate. You know, it's like last one. We've got the sentry gun coming up from bot mode. Both teams just going to be building up their Uber and then going to be trying to go for some plays after they've gotten it there. So, you know, maybe we'll see, we might see some Saxon, maybe a sniper, maybe a if Witness Gaming can't break this last defense. But yeah, it looks like they're moving into lobby and looks like they might try and spam out the gun. Or just see where like a G6 is playing before they go for any sack plays or something like that.
Yeah, the biggest thing with these holds is you have to get through the gun. Even if you send it a 2-man, it's going to effectively be a 1-man if the gun just immediately kills you. But you have a bomb in from Laz. They're going to the side of the map where the gun can't necessarily see, and they do succeed in killing Zilly. They're going to have to give up a couple, but there's chaos all over the map, and Logan falling is a very big boon for the side of Witness Gaming, although they've had to give up a lot for it. Soapy, I didn't quite go behind. Was thinking about it maybe going through lower, but after Artist taking some nice damage from the side of the G6 defense, it doesn't look like there's anything more to be said when it comes to the stalemate break from the side of Witness Gaming, but so much loss from G6. They don't really have a whole lot of resources to use to go for a counter either. I think it was pretty much just Soapy available, and his health was kind of, that's why he didn't go behind in the first place, I'm pretty sure. So just chilling, accepted what happened, and honestly, pretty nice attempt. You can see the sentry gun has moved locations. It's much more to the left this time around, so that if someone tries to put through that left-hand side and kill Zilly, they're going to have a more difficult time to actually get through that. So that was actually that was probably Witness Gaming's best attempt at going for like a normal 2-man and like getting something out of it. So makes sense that with that kind of plugged up in the sentry gun in a more centralized position, just going straight for the sniper.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, I think it was one of them. I think maybe Ash super deep, kind of by Witness Gaming's left spawn. But with Logan getting a nice pick out onto high five sniper, it really ends his sniper before it could even start. I don't even know if he took a shot before that happened. We see Zilly gonna be traded out. Laz taking up that. We do see Laz trying to spam down the sentry gun from drop down. You know, hopefully maybe you can meet up. Artist going to be taken down with some nice stickies. So if a sentry is down, so they might send in a sack as High Five is out on scout before Caps can rebuild it. Looks like they are. Laz going in super deep. He is going to land near Howard, but he doesn't really do that much damage to Howard.
High Five just in. He's trying to get Logan once again. Got to get Zilly instead for the side of Brand Slam, but High Five not quite finding the mark. So at the end of the day, got the gun and did a 2-man, which, you know, better than most teams sometimes, but yeah. No force, which is what they're looking for. So
no force. A lot of damage to Dispenser though. It's burning up. Gonna be healing it back up, and they it's gonna be interesting to see what Witness Gaming did. Obviously, they did manage to take them with sentry gun. So if they can do that reliably, you know, they can just keep on sending those 2-mans. Eventually, they'll do enough damage to either Logan or Howard. But we do see bot mode out on the spy. I'm interested to know whether he's gonna fully commit to it. Looks like he's gonna go back to sniper and just gonna peek, play by the shutter area, watch that sight line.
Yeah, probably was checking off classes to see if Witness Gaming was gonna pull up the sniper again or maybe a spy of themselves. But you know, considering the hold that G6 is doing, I think it makes sense that Witness Gaming is able to take out this gun realistically. You only have Zilly as the main thing that's holding down the shutter side, and as soon as he gets hurt and can't really hold it, yeah, Artist just makes the shutter and kills it. So kind of surprised that they're continuing to have Logan play on the opposite side of the map and not centralized, because there's nothing that's really going to stop. See, Lash just walks to the shutter, the gun gets him, but then now 2 more through. They're actually getting into the doors pretty easily.
If they get Ash.
Yeah, the gun stops it, you know, pretty good for the side of the defense, but the fact they got through the doors so quickly, and you know, could be pretty bad for the side of G6's last hold in the long run. But with 3 kills, it might not be a last hold any longer. They've threw into lobby and bot mode. Oh, he's trying to commit on Artist. No one else has really threw it quite yet. Now I see the Soldier Aggression trying to create some extra space to try to save their scout. And bot mode has the beam now, so this could be an exchange if Witness Gaming decides they need to pull the trigger to defend this point. But G6, the reinforcements are coming. They've lost Soapy, and yeah, they've overstayed their welcome. It took way too long to get something going, and they're going to have to reap the consequences of losing a Soldier there.
Yeah, bot mode was in, and he had a good shot on the Artist. If someone was there just to help him, it might have been able to get him. And then once you get Artist there, that's definitely a second you can take G6. But they do get Ash, so looks like Witness Gaming gonna be trying to peek this the opposite side now. Logan has it on lockdown, however. So we are gonna head back into this stalemate that we've seen ourselves in. Gonna be interesting to see if a Witness Gaming do a similar thing, and you know, take down that sentry gun before they send in a 2-man. They really haven't gotten much yet with the 2-mans, but being able to reliably take down the sentry gun, as you said earlier, Jared, is a huge help if you're trying to do anything onto last. So it's going to be interesting to see where they try and peek and prod from. Looks like they're healing up by this shutter side, so they might be trying to go for a similar type of play. Zilly, once again, the only person really blocking it. We do have bot mode on the sniper. He does get the headshot out onto Ash, so he's there to support his pocket soldier right there. So good stuff from him. Quickly checking those offices as well. We do seem to trying to spam it in from lower bot mode. Going to be taking High Five down, so that's going to be 2 down on the side of Witness Gaming. They do lose Soapy Meister, so I doubt G6 are going to be doing much pushing out here. Maybe just a little bit of peeking, but good stuff from them to deny any aggression from Witness Gaming onto their last there, specifically from bot.
Yeah, and this bot mode sniper, well, he's swapping off now, I think, to maybe check, or he's on Pyre. Did he think that someone was on Spy? Either way, him on Sniper pretty much plugged the issue I was talking about, how it's going to be pretty hard for them to actually control Shutter long term with this defense they have set up. I mean, the gun will eventually get things, but getting to the door is not going to be that difficult. But it is going to be if you just immediately get headshot through that sight line, so good positioning and timing from the side of bot mode. He is swapped off now, though, so now maybe that issue will reappear, but it looks like they're going to the opposite side of the map this time for the side of Witness. They're poking and prodding, seeing what's available. They've killed Logan in this spot before, but the question is will they find the same flaws in the way he was holding, or if Logan has actually plugged them up and is going to make sure this is a iron defense. So I guess only
Yeah.
time will tell. They're still playing on this side a little bit, just seeing what's available. High Five's kind of worked his way through around the sticky trap. Spawn coming in from the side of Laz onto the tower. Spamming down, or Laz will eventually fall from the side of bot mode. This High Five duel is still happening. He's not dead quite yet, but will finally get jumped by Soapy. So at the end of the day, two-man kind of didn't really have a whole lot of space because of the gun. It all goes back to the gun. Can't really do too much with it being a presence in the defense. So G6, they have an opportunity to kind of poke around. Soapy's on the move. He's
Bot mode
moving
back on
around,
Sniper. Yeah, it looks like he's maybe trying to go for a deep peek. Yeah, he does take a few pot shot off onto Artist. Doesn't really connect, but a good attempt there. Playing this super safe, super carefully for these teams. I want to make sure that they're not letting anyone have an easy walk in either onto last or on the second. Making sure they clear everything. We do see Witness Gaming moving back into lobby, just kind of healing their players up. They are just going to take her in through lower, actually, just saying, screw it, going for the Uber exchange. Going to be forcing all of these G6 players back into their spawn.
And the banner.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice the banner. That's going to be interesting, but they have to worry about the 100% Uber from the side of Howard and like a G6 here. So this is going to be crucial for G6. If they can get out on the second without having to worry about a back helper, they can guarantee the second and maybe even get it, depending on how quick they go.
So G6 would rather play another mid than try to push out into two and then it go awry. Like if they push out with an Uber here and then Witness Gaming back caps, or they lose people to traps, or they accidentally overchase with their Uber, it could all be over. So it looks like they're putting all their eggs in the mid-fight basket. They're just going and setting up with another gun. Soapy is still holding his battalions that he popped so long ago, so as soon as Witness Gaming actually floods through doorways, he's able to, you know, kind of prevent that damage. Plus, you have the Uber still in play, so it looks like he's holding it until sack waves go through. Howard still hasn't used, but he lived with like 11 HP after the fall damage, and the 4-man will not really lead to a whole lot. So 50 seconds left. I mean, Witness Gaming, they got a very small window to work with here, but I think with G6 realizing that second is technically free, I mean, they'll take a free second, sure. I think that was the main thing. They wanted to make sure that they could take second and not accidentally just lose it and get steamrolled to last because of what they had to use. But because it's free, sure, just take it free. And Soapy still has his banner. He hasn't used it yet.
My goodness.
Still holding down left click, ready to let it loose whenever need be. And I can only imagine it's going to be when things really go awry. It's not like he's needed for the sacks or anything, but Witness Gaming, they're starting to poke and prod through lower to see if they can make some room for like maybe Laz or Ash, who might jump by the window.
It now. Going to be trying to aggress on these Witness Gaming players, just making sure they don't get anything. High five is going to go down, so they kind of bully them here. I think the banner has dissipated by this point, so yeah, a good idea there. Maybe could have waited a bit longer for Witness Gaming to take a bit more ground. They only got one for it. At the end of the day, he was going to have to get rid of that banner at some point. Looks like he's going to be going back on 7 HP. If he messed up that rocket jumper, miscalculated it, he could have died. Would have been funny to see that. So we are gonna head back into a stalemate. We do see High Five though on the sniper, gonna be rolling out, maybe gonna try and peek through window. Yeah, he's going up onto catwalk. That's gonna be his first area. He goes for the shot. I'm gonna be looking at that Bats area, trying to, you know, get a sneaky shot. I think the headshot does, yeah, it does connect onto Caps right there. So a good shot, you know, a good little test of can you hit the heads, but not the head that he probably wanted to hit. And now Witness Gaming, I mean, like a G6 knows that he's on sniper, so they can position themselves accordingly.
They're poking around through lower, at least a little bit. Actually, there's a lot of presence in Saw. Jumping their way through. Laz is able to die, trying to hold the Bats area, and now Witness Gaming has to back up all the way to mid. Soapy's able to loop his way around, finding Logai alone. Holy Soapy, got that force almost single-handedly and got 2 as well. Fresh from G6 on, gonna be another soldier death coming in, but giving up 2 soldiers for 2 kills in a force, you take that any day of the week, and it seems like G6 did a really good job at recognizing the Saw was, you know, a little bit open when Witness Gaming did that lower play.
Yeah, it looks like Witness Gaming were thinking about even like counter-wrapping them and pushing in, but they just took too much time, and maybe they saw that Logan was still there trapping it up, and they kind of hesitated, and they got collapsed upon by everyone else rotating through Saw. So good stuff from Like a G6 to make sure that they still had second, at least moderately defended while they did that. Are going to take the Uber in through kitchen. Both soldiers, actually there's a ton of Witness Gaming players behind. It's going to be 3 fighting for the second. They do get the pick up onto Zilly. and that's going to be probably a successful back. Everyone else on RGLgg has to come back to deal with these players behind. Ash and High Five are still up. Ash is going to be playing ring around the fence right now, and everyone else from Witness Gaming just rolling in. They are going to get Howard. Haps is going to go down in that Africa area, and now Witness Gaming doing a really great job of just recognizing the situation. Everyone flooded through kitchen on that RGLgg Uber. No one was watching, saw, or kind of catwalk, and they were able to get in behind and get that back cap. So good stuff there. And RGLgg has 100% to come in here. They do use, Zilly does try to go for the force there. He does get it, but RGLgg might have been able to use just regardless. So Sophie Meister going down, going to be trying to do as much as they can. One from RGLgg trying to defend the point as long as possible, and with only 2 alive, that is going to be the first round for Witness Gaming.
Yeah, Witness Gaming took a page out of G6's book right there. G6 did that flank play from Sophie through Saw to go ahead and have an opportunity to take mid, but they just did it right back to him. They noticed, oh, you're all going kitchen? Okay, we'll send 3 Saw. And not only did they get those kills, but they lost Logan after the Uber as well. So yeah, 2 people not going to be able to survive the onslaught, not have a medic up for last. That is going to be easy round for the side of Witness. But will this be another just stalemate-ish game with the last 4 minutes remaining of this half, or will we start to see the ball rolling and we'll end at 3?
Well, it can all start with this mid, depending on how it goes. If, one team wipes, then that can pretty much guarantee a steamroll. As we see that both teams just kind of playing it a bit slow. Maybe an effect of that kind of slower round. We do see finally Witness Gaming aggressing in. Laos successfully in behind. So is Ash. Laz now recommitting onto all the players by Saw. It is so low. Oh, yeah, literally on 1 HP. Finally, for Rocket from Ash can be able to clean him up. That's basically everyone on the side of RGLgg down. Zilly staying alive by the kitchen area. Finally going to go down. And both of those soldiers getting in behind there. Laz and Ash successfully. I think Laz managed to snag the pack there. Is kind of really one Witness Gaming that mid, as everyone else pressured forward. Those soldiers were in behind to make sure that RGLgg had nowhere to run.
Yeah, not only was Witness Gaming's overall spam damage and the initiation from the soldiers a little bit better when it came to making sure everyone was weak, but I don't think the scouts were able to be re-healed. There was just too much separation between Howard and bot mode and Cap. So when they got hurt, they stayed hurt, which hurts your ability to actually clean up. Even though both teams had a lot of damage on the field, just wasn't quite enough to make sure things went your way and able to get the kills you needed to secure that mid. So Witness Gaming, you're holding strong. They got an Uber ready to go, and they're going through Shutter. Gonna go for the gun first, immediately set that down and over to the point side, and now bombs across, but locking down the Shutter is Logan to make sure this Stoneman cannot come back into play. Double bomb onto the scout, a lot of damage on the brand Sam, and log up the counter initiation from the soldiers to make some space. Artist will fall, so no more stickies, which is very huge for the side of G6, and the floodgates just open. Chasing on a brand Sam, caught a little bit, but they're gonna get High Five instead, and overall, Witness Gaming, I mean, they got the first part of the last push down. They got the gun. They were able to get on the point, but just too much damage, not enough sustain, and they fall and falter, and they don't get the last. So G6, hold on strong, free second, and an Uber attempt to try to push into mid and take that as well.
Yeah, with only basically 2 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes 30, it's kind of in a weird position maybe for RGLgg as Caps go down to a sticky trap right there on the side of Catwalk. That is not gonna bait their push right there. We do see some players in behind once again from Witness Gaming. 2 of them going down. It is going to be a trade. Now it's going to be a High Five versus Zilly. Zilly does get the better of that with some of the help from his teammates. So RGLgg did have to go back there. Now RGLgg does have 100%. Probably stalemate out there, even though Witness Gaming still 2 down. Actually, no, it looks like RGLgg maybe want to try and peek this a little bit. I doubt they're going to do much with it. Maybe they can find a pick out onto another player, but no, it is gonna head into a stalemate. So yeah, 1 minute 44. Obviously, if Witness Gaming just happens to just run back to their last, RGLgg is gonna take the territory. But at some point, you gotta wonder about just maybe minimizing the and going into the second half. Only down 1 round, a lot better than going down potentially 2 rounds. As we do see Witness Gaming sending in both
headshot
soldiers.
rocket.
Oh,
No
nice
surf
rocket.
there.
Yeah. And that is going to force the Uber from Howard & Co. And now RGLgg really on the back foot. They're going to be trying to make a desperation play to try and force out RGLgg's Uber at all costs. We're just going to be playing in this Saw area. We do see a lot of Witness Game. RGLgg players in behind, actually. We're going to be flooding in now. Get some good rockets out onto RGLgg. Can the aggression from Silly clean him up? Okay, no, he does get the force, so that is what they need. They only lose 2 for that bot mode getting a trade out onto Ash. So that is probably the best case scenario for like a G6 right here. You keep all their players up and alive to defend this last point. 44 seconds left. Uber probably not going to come into play as Witness Gamer are just going to try and steamroll this in with the momentum that they had. Are going to lose last board. Are just going down so low, but he is going to manage to stay alive.
G6 did a really good job there at the tail end of that, making sure that they were able to, they lost 2 soldiers for the Force, which is like, I mean, you got the Force, but you lost all your spam. You got to really lock down that door, and with it just being Logan, he surfed back, low HP, all the way to a shutter, and they were able to get through the floodgates. But even still, they had the heavy, the perfect timing from the side of bot mode to make sure it didn't overextend, and they held that strong, so they still have their Uber ready to go, but Witness Gaming are knocking on your door. They're trying to flood their way through because there's 8 seconds left, and there's no cap time quite yet. They aren't able to work their way through. Uber not popped, and that's going to be the half 1-0 in favor of Witness Gaming.
Whew. What a 1-0 it was. Very sorry, very kind of, even though it was stalemate, there was a lot of kind of pockets of back and forth action. I distinctly remember that second mid kind of extravaganza going on that they had for a while there. And they honestly really good stuff from the side of like a G6. Sure, they were kind of on their last for a majority of that, but still they're on their last and they were able to hold, even though Witness Gaming had a lot of attempts, and multiple sack opportunities. They played it safe, they played it slow, and sure, they're down around, but it could have been a lot worse. And I think maybe for Witness Gaming's map pick, if you're like a G6, you're feeling maybe a bit confident. There's really a shot, an opportunity for them to win this, I think.
Yeah, and when it comes to the first 2 maps, because it's picked so early on, ideally you want to win your map pretty convincingly to just feel really comfortable. So the fact that this is Witness Gaming's pick, but G6 is kind of holding their own and holding the fort down, it gives them promise. But Witness Gaming's still in the lead. They've still shown that they're technically the better team. They've pulled off the one play good enough to make sure that the round is secured with that one back cap attempt. But I think both teams have actually shown a lot of prowess and ability. So I think this halftime is going to be really important to try to figure out, what to really change, because both teams obviously they're not perfect. They did plenty of things that found a lot of success to, maybe not necessarily take rounds, but at least take a lot of ground for their team. But also many attempts where you went in and didn't get anything, where you got people behind and eventually pinched you. Hasn't been very many mids, but for the most part, there's been some issues where a team's not able to get everything together and it could be exactly where they want to be, just losing by very thin margins. So I think it's gonna be really huge because this is the last chance that teams will really get to talk about Snakewater in depth with everything being so fresh. I think that's the big thing. It's one thing to theory craft pregame, like,
Mm,
maybe they'll do this, and we'll like make sure that we're able to deal with it when the
yeah.
time comes, alongside with your own plan. But now you get really firsthand experience. Like, all right, they're
Yeah, now
doing
you know.
this. Yeah, they're doing this and that. So this is what we need to do, and this is where the experience really comes into play and where you're able to actually do some serious hard counters beyond whatever you thought might have happened. So it's going to be
Yeah.
a new ball game when it comes to second half, I think.
100%. I don't know if we have the logs on screen. Just, take a quick peek at them. Obviously, some kind of lower DPM, but obviously it was fairly stalematy, so you can't really judge anyone too harshly because of it. Logan going top 260, bot mode having a good game, going 24-9. Maybe that's the NG player, the heavy play actually going 3-0 on that. So good stuff. I think, what like G6 really needs to do if they want to kind of equal Witness Gaming is just make sure that they keep their flank protected on those transition fights and those transition plays. Because a couple times now, Witness Gaming have been able to get in behind and they on to like a G6's second. And that's kind of even if it hasn't won Witness Gaming the round, it's a force like a G6 to stop them from taking mid and have to go back to fight second, and usually that means they have to go back to defend their last, which they've been pretty successful at, all things considered. They've have a maybe not miracle, but a few good last holds against a odds that they probably should have lost it. But still, that does kind of ruin their momentum, and they have to try and reset. So I think if they make sure they keep their flank, protected, make sure they don't have anyone going behind on those transition fights, especially from second to mid when they're pushing into middle, I think we might see a better performance from like a G6. I don't know if you agree, Jarrett.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I will say though is I think there's not really a big difference between these logs, which is usually the standard when it comes to a game that's so close. The only big disparities are some of the deaths maybe from the side of Witness Gaming when it comes to their flank, but that makes sense because they were in the position where they needed to sack a lot against G6 on their last forever, so that's gonna like explode Laz and High Five's
Yeah.
death, second to none. So if you give them a pass a little bit and remove a couple of deaths from the side of Laz and High Five from needing to die to the meat grinder, then for all intents and purposes, a lot of the numbers that we see here are relatively the same. So I don't think there's a big difference here when it comes to like giant pop-offs, really. I mean, maybe a tiny bit from the side of Soapy actually doing a lot of damage compared to the rest of his team. He made some giant plays, like on the flank when it comes to just making sure everyone was weak compared to Laz, who was much more like force oriented onto Howard. Like he found Howard in some corners sometimes. So a little bit of playstyle differences there, but then that kind of goes out of the log like centric
Yeah.
focus when it comes to figuring out differences. So for the most part, I think it really comes down to the playstyle choices of the teams and individuals and what everyone's really going to bring to the table when it comes to changes. Not very many mids went by realistically. It's only two, and they like split them 1-1.
Yeah.
G6 won the first mid, Witness Gaming won the second one. So you don't really have too much of a pool really there to work with.
Yeah.
So it's anyone's game really.
It is anyone's game as teams ready up going into the second half here, and I think it was Marxist who once said it, but usually if you have a slow first half, you're in a position to see a lightning fast second half. So we'll see if that's the case here, as we watch both these teams roll out. Once again, going to be looking at Artist and Logan, just going to be trading those sticks across the point once again. We might see a slower mid, or just a slower start for the aggression, but no, Laz be going in for a nice high fake bomb. We do see Soapy Meister, a similar thing, going a bit lower, but going to be faking out once again. Zilly going to be taking down Brand Slam in the kitchen area, and now it looks like Witness Gaming on the tail end of it, going to be having to Ash, going to be trying to trade out for Caps, but Caps does stay alive there, living at about maybe double digits right there. So they are going to be able to take mid and probably second here. Just going to be trying to lock down these chokes, making sure Witness Gaming can't regress with their spawners, but I don't think they're going to. Just going to be sitting up on their last, and I think this is going to be one of the few times like G6 has been actually on Witness Gaming's last. It's been quite the opposite. Jordy Soapy going in almost immediately, going to be down last, getting some good damage out on to I think maybe Artist, but he's going to be tanked throughout that. They are going to lose Caps and Soapy. So Witness Gaming going to be peak and prod just a little bit in lobby here, but I think they're just going to be oh no, Brand Slam going to be trying to go through bats, but with Ash going down, I think that's going to cancel the push, and they are going to just head back to their last and solidify their last hold.
It's a little bit of a late soldier death that actually gives some room for the sack to happen right now. Bot mode and Zilly on the move, trying to go into Artist. Log nowhere to be seen. I think he's behind the tower, so it wasn't quite in their sights, but not enough damage to really clean that up. So you're on the move for the side of Witness. Don't have Ash quite ready yet, but they're still making moves. Laz has worked his way behind. The same with High Five. High Five staying a little bit. You have the train. Branson working his way through bats, and Logan's actually has work cut out for him. He's actually pushed all the way back, but it's going to be Laz that eventually dies to make sure this kill happens from the side of High Five. So no dough, man. They're working their way through. They're just stacking on top of what. And Howard drops to. Was that just a spam rocket?
Ooh.
Ash,
I think so.
Yeah, Ash is literally on bats. He got that kill, and he's in. Okay, he just died to a spam rocket. All right. Camera saw it, but the bomb comes in from the side of G6, trying to get this force. They will succeed, but boy, did they had to give up a lot, and did that go south very, very quickly from the side of G6.
That definitely did. I guess Howard probably didn't think that spam rocket would do as much damage as it was. He was fairly low. He was like in the 40s, but I guess from that distance, maybe he thought it'd only do like, maybe like 17 or something, so gonna tank it out, but unfortunately he does drop because of it. Lil Guy is gonna have a bit of Uber. We do see bot mode in the forward spawn right now on the sniper. They do know, so they are gonna be him down. He is gonna back spawn out. Soapy Meister on the logs, gonna be in a little bit of a little 1v1 there with Laz. Hi-Fi comes and helps him out, gonna be taking that pick on the Soapy. So Lil Guy has about 40%, definitely workable, definitely usable, and especially with Soapy down, they might be inclined to try and take the space while it awarded to them.
Yeah, they're working their way through. Damage onto Zilly. Gonna actually give up Blast with this level 1 gun. They'll maybe eventually get on. They're trying to spam it, but they're just giving more room for the side of Logan to just put so much damage into them. finally, Uber comes out, chasing down into the shutter, able to get caps, which is a very nice pick. They're getting on the point. Bomb from Soapy. Actually, tons of damage on a Brainstorm, forcing him to back up into the lower area, but kills all around. Soapy falling, Pop Mode falling. They're getting on the point. Artist able to make sure a Pop Mode kill is cleaned up as well, and that is going to be another round in favor of Witness Gaming.
Indeed is Witness Gaming. You know, they had a pretty bad mid, but they were able to turn around that. Obviously, that pickup onto Howard just kind of snowballed everything, and I don't think RGLgg were able to set up properly in time for their last. So we are going to be going into, I believe, the 4th mid fight here. Once again, watching Artists just going to try and sticky off those players entering now from RGLgg. Probably last, yeah, he just go for that classic fake high bomb. Looks like he was almost going to, but no, he does back out. Soapy Meister going to be doing the same as well. Zilly going to be committing deep in. He does get the pick up on the Ash. Logan taking down Grand Slam as well, so Witness Gaming looks like they might be in grounds to retreat here. Soapy Meister in behind. He has the exit up. They do know about it, and they do pick him down. He does get a lot of good damage, but with a few quick bows, Witness Gaming are able to heal up. Looks like they want to try and re-aggress here. High Five is going to go down while he's trying to make space for it. Is a bit questionable, to be honest, but you know, they do have the players to try and hold here, as RGLgg looks like they want to try and peek this lower side area. Now they're just going to back up as boat goes down, and looks like they're just going to get in for a mid hold right here. It's, Witness Gaming going to be doing the same, trying to peek, maybe see if they can send in someone behind, but no, are just gonna back up, head back to their second, and we're gonna be in for another stalemate here, Jared.
Yeah, so far Witness Gaming are starting to lose some resources really early on in these mids. They're, more particularly Brand Slam is dying relatively quickly, +1 soldier, so it seems like G6 has kind of gotten an angle and how the mid fights need to go, but the question is do they know what they need to change to actually put themselves on the board here? So be bombing forward, trying to make space, and yeah, not going to be able to get too much distance there. Laz on the move to try to get some sort of counter initiation going. Stack will not really work out in their favor. Demo spam MGE across the board as well. Tons of damage, but no kills in that regard. Plenty of heals to go around and make sure neither of those two fall. But G6 on the move through lower, making space for maybe Zillion. Saw Ash just up on the pipe trying to spam backwards, and it's looking like another sack is only going to go through if a scout decides to run forward. Bot mode really weak. He might get cleaned up depending on how the spam goes. Drop to 4 HP in the corner. Will be able to eat an arrow, continue to live. Caps weak as well, but yeah, that's not going to be enough for the side of G6 to actually go forward and get any kills from onto the side of Witness or a Force. So gonna be all for naught as they go ahead and back up to mid. Soapy's respawn and back to the drawing board.
Oh, we do see a little bit of a tag bomb in there from window. Soapy Meister is not going to be able to get much at all, but I do appreciate the effort there. So now Witness Gaming going to be interested to see if they try and do anything. Yeah, it looks like they're trying to poke their head into Saw here. Maybe be a bit distraction for High Five or Laz to get in through lower. Yeah, Laz is going to be going in through lower. He gets a rock onto, I think, bot mode right there. Bot mode, yeah, super weak, but they do lose 2 for it. Laz and Ash going down, so no soldiers. Now, if you're like G6, you can try and enter this yard area without having to worry of high bomb, which is exactly what they're doing. Oh my god, Soapy.
He blinded. I'm like AFK on mid, like fixing something, and he blinded him on mid. What was that?
That was like a leftover trap.
Oof. Dang, I mean, I don't know if he even know he had it or knew he had it, but because of that is going to stop the RGLgg aggression. Now Witness Gaming have the same thing awarded to them. No soldiers to worry about, so the Uber is going to be exchanged here by Saw. Cap's going to be trying to make sure they flash as many people as possible. He does do that, so maybe technically a better Uber from the side of RGLgg, but they are down a few players. Zilly going in super deep, getting some good damage out. It doesn't connect or kill anyone, so that is going to be a mid cap up for the side of Witness Gaming. RGLgg can try and stay around here if they want. They aren't going to get their spawners, but they are going to get them kind of soon. If they play this correctly, they can definitely hold on for a second. It's just a question of if they're going to be able to, as Witness Gaming rolls in through yard.
Yeah, Witness Gaming,
back up.
They know that they have the respawn advantage here. It's taking a bit for the side of G6 to actually get in position, so G6 very wisely decided it's not worth. If they started a fight here on 2, it would be a 4v6 at the beginning of that. Can't hold the doors, would lose a lot of people very quickly, so much safer option. Go on last, keep your Uber intact, keep your players, get the gun up, and back to the first half shenanigans. Witness Gaming trying to see if they can break their way through, but they're going straight for the Uber. They don't want the previous shenanigans of trying to spend time and time again at getting this Force out. Just going for the exchange, might lose a bit. Artist jumping around, able to maybe escape. No, he's able to get Soapy, actually. So Chaos Laz gonna fall. Initiation from the side of Ash. Ooh, not where you want to land. Immediately stalled by 2 scouts, but
Yeah. He was just static in the air. No momentum for that man. Unfortunate. But good job from them. I think Howard was fairly weak there, so if Ash was installed there, that could have been a pickup onto him, which would have solidified the ad for the side of Witness Gaming, but that doesn't happen. So they're just gonna head back in.
Oh, Logan!
Brand Slam.
He just dies. He was alone in lobby backing up Shutter, but I guess he didn't sticky himself off properly. He also had no one else with him, so that's just a dead domain. That's huge for Witness Gaming. I mean, this Uber eventually will be in play for the side of Howard to kind of save things, but they're through the floodgates super easy. They're working their way through both sides, and the low guy immediately dies on entry. Bot mode with the salvage. Sophie falling initiation from Zilly, getting onto Ash and Laz, who will eventually die. 3 left alive from the side of Witness Gaming.
Point though. Okay. Yeah, they do clean it up. I was a bit worried there because they had, it looked like Witness Gaming had a few players on the point, and like G6 weren't paying attention to it, but they do. They make sure that they defend the point there, and that is going to be a good, solid defense for the side of like G6. Obviously, you can't bank on bot mode hitting that shot every time, and he does. That is what you want to see if you're a like G6 fan. We do see, however, Ash on the spy. Definitely kind of an off time to do it, but good time nonetheless because it would be unexpected. He is kind of in position right there. I
don't think they realized.
Yeah.
I think that was just rocket jump damage. He's decloaked. He's ready to go. No one knows at all. But he's got to catch up to him. He's fighting against scout speed, so they have to kind of stay a little bit and not immediately W. And it looks like that's what they're doing for now. He's going to catch Logan. He's going to... Oh, no, he won't. Oh, he didn't expect the backup. He's going for the revolver. 1 shot. Needs 2 more. Oh, just cloak, and it's not enough.
Yeah,
not quite what you want.
He saw that Howard was a bit disconnected there, and he tried to go back for it. I think he definitely could have gotten that Logan pick if he committed for it, but regardless, that is going to be the Uber coming out from Leica G6 to Witness Gaming's Laz. Do get an early pick up onto Laz right there. Zilly going down as well, but Uber now being used from the side of Loge, so an exchange right there. They do lose 2 Leica G6 there. They might be able to find one of these scouts pushing out here, but no, that is going to be Witness Gaming successfully defending. They're getting a lot of ground here on the second. It's just Slam. Bot mode on the second right there. He is going to be taken down. Both scouts down for the side of Leica G6. They looks like they might be trying to defend this mid. They do have 1 scout up now, so Witness Gaming might try and do something while they do have the player ad. Yeah, they are going to be busting through that catwalk area. A huge bomb in from Ash right there, getting a lot of for his team. They do have a high ground advantage, but they're just bulged up there, actually. Branch Slam and Laz going down. Looks like they might be able to catch out Artist, and now the momentum has shifted in the favor of Leica G.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty, like, it wasn't ambitious at all to try to go ahead and try that. I mean, even though it's no spamming classes, it's 2 scouts, so you just got to get through the doorways, and then your soldiers are free. And they did that, but not quite enough room, so Howard and friends are working their way through. Immediately on the point, Uber and Play going to be able to use to save their players. Soldier trades, so the initiation comes out from the side of Witness Gaming, actually chasing down Logan away from their Uber as they're meeting the unubered players, though, that rotated up to the shutter. So Branson will eventually die chasing down Logan and will be unsuccessful. G6 rushing forward through the other side of the things, away from the shutter, working the way over to the truck area. Oh, nice rock from the side of Ash to make Sophie will fall, but there's so much cap time. Artist has to get on himself and give up his life for it, so no stickies available. And G6 with a dry push, they able to make sure they rotated perfectly and just baited Branson, found a way through, and it's got on that cap and put around on the board.
Yeah, Branchland was chasing that pick up onto Logan. He probably could have got it, but I think one of his scouts came and they helped Logan take him down. And good stuff there from Leica G6 to just the point. They didn't need to kill everyone there. They just got a lot of point time right there, and they were able to cap it up. So it is going to be 2-1 still in favor of Witness Gaming, but Leica G6 finally getting around on the board, as we do see Laz probably going in for that classic fake high bomb that he's, I think, probably every mid. Sophie Meister doing the same right at him, and they looks like Leica G6 taking a bit of point presence right there, a bit further up on the mid. Ash can be taking down bot mode right there, so good bomb from him onto that scout. And so now it looks like Witness Gaming taking the high ground. We do see Zilly in behind it, just kind of rocket jumping around, kind of distracting these Witness Gaming players. They do take Artist in the mess of that, but everyone else on the side of Leica G6 is going down. It's just Sophie and Howard alive, can be trying to escort his medic out. All things considered, a very good mid win for Witness Gaming. I think the first one they've won in the second half.
Yeah, too many resources to kill just a singular demo. It's not quite enough, so Witness Gaming going to be fine just giving up their demo to make sure that they got mid, they got 2, and And they're in a pretty good spot to go for attempts once again. Howard once again has his Uber ready to go and available for this hold. Gun going up by the side of bot mode, so gonna slow down a little bit and see what two-mans come our way. No off classes yet for the side of Witness Gaming, but they're on the move poking doorways and seeing if they can break their way through already.
Yeah, they are. It's going to be interesting to see if they do this similar thing that they're doing in the first half, just using Artist to take down the sentry gun through the shutter side area. But first, they've got to spot it out, which they, I believe, are going to do. Yeah, they're healing up by the shutter side area, so that might be their plan of attack. Last time, they just took the Uber exchange, but no, it looks like they might be trying to buff Laz. Logan soup deep in the lower side. He is going to be taking down Laz there. I guess they didn't expect Logan to be that aggressive lower. He's kind of playing top right for the majority of it. Zilly and Soapy going down. However, on the side of RGLgg, is going to be trying to take a play out. They do force a low guy in the midst of that. I completely missed that. So that was a very successful from the side of RGLgg. So now G6 in position to try and push out here. And a previous time they didn't push out, and because they were just playing it super carefully. It's going to be interesting to see if they do something like that again. Low guy already at 50% Uber hat, so they might just decide to stalemate it out. But no, looks like they're going to be taking in the Uber. They used aggressively through this bats area, going to be bombing their demo. They might be able to get, yeah, they get Ash. I don't think they're going to be able to get anything else, as we do see High Five in behind.
Oh,
he's
looping
sneaking
around
through the bat. Oh, he gets a lot of damage on the Howard. Howard is so weak right now. Can he stay alive? Now the cleanup from the rest of Witness Gaming players going to be taking him down. And it's now just Soapy Meister alive. They didn't even cap second there, Jared, and that should be a very nice last point cap up for Witness Gaming.
Yeah, it's that example of what G6 was fearing in previous halves and rounds when they was stalemate on last and just go ahead and not push out. Remember when it was almost like a reset? It's because if you can push out, but if you mess up to let someone behind, you're not prepared for that, and you're not able to reposition post Uber, it could crumble very quickly. So beautiful flank from the side of 5-5. You posted in chat that he had butterflies that flank, but either way, good success from Witness Gaming to keep themselves in this game and on top, and we'll see another mid fight going and see who is able to come up on top. So far, it's been slightly more G6 favor, but we'll see what's in store for us this time. Zilly jumping forward, a lot of damage to the wall guy, unable to surf where he wants to, and the Zilly bomb and Soapy bomb combined, taking him out. They gave up a lot of resources for it though, 3 to 4. I mean, in terms of players left alive, Artist not quite in the position to lock things down. So G6 could poke around, but with having the lower amount of players, playing it safe, keeping Howard alive, and looks like they're just going to go ahead and wait for the respawn before they go ahead and try to retake mid.
Yeah, they are. It's going to be, hopefully someone tell one of these players to update the config. They need to update it to at least 4 rounds for Witness Gaming right there, because they have the first config on. They don't have a second half config, but that doesn't matter. It looks like G6 are going to be using their Uber and going to be bombing their demo in deep. They are going to be able to catch 2 Laz and High Five, maybe in position to try and go for that pep that they were doing in the first half right there. But G6 a bit more aware of it, so now they do have position. Lol Guy still doesn't have Uber at about 80% right now, so they should be able to take some space before Lol Guy has, because they might be able to bully them out. With Artist going down right there, they should be able to take it. No, they do use Uber actually. Maybe he tried to use the save Artist there, I'm not quite sure, but they are going to use to try and defend second. They haven't kept it up just yet, so they do get a nice pick up onto Zilly right there, and they are going to be trying to focus fight these players down. A huge bomb in from Laz through window, going to be taking a lot of damage down. They aren't going to be able to get any picks aside from the soldiers. So now Witness Gaming going to be trying to fight these players in yard right there. They don't have any demo to try and help them. Now Artist finally getting back into the fight, but Brand Slam going down, Ash going down. Yeah, they have to back up here, and that was really great stuff like a G6 there.
Yeah, I think there might have been a miscommunication for Witness Gaming. Like, they almost had Uber. It made sense to defend it, but I guess Artist didn't quite realize they didn't have quite yet. Holy High Five. I mean, they've gotten these kills, but you have to protect the point. They had like 2-ish people in lobby that went behind and got kills, which is great for a defense, but defense, the rest of it has to, be there to defend the point. Yeah. I don't think there was any stickies on it or anything, so immediately just got onto it, capped it, and that's a round.
Yeah, they rushed the people coming in through Shutter, but everyone else just got in through lower, clean as could be, and they just walk onto the point. And I mean, at the end of the day, you don't really need to kill anyone. You just need to cap points. You could play TF2 pacifist if you really wanted to, very hard. As we go into this next mid, it is going to be 3-2, still in favor of Witness Gaming. Laz once again doing that fake high bomb. So Meister doing an exchange, but just going to be taking down the stick to take down Logan. We do see Soapy Meister going in super deep, trying to get onto low guy. Zilly with the cleanup, going to be taking him down. Howard staying alive once again, and you know, really good stuff from the side of Howard to stay alive so much on these fights that really go the way of Witness Gaming. Aside from a Howard stuff. So now we do see, you know, Laz just peeking the second point, maybe trying to see if he could get a cheeky, sneaky play out onto Howard, but no, he's got his combo there to defend him, and now it is gonna once again, as we saw this in the last round, it is gonna be like a G6 pushing onto this mid with Uber ad.
Yeah, that mid was a very heads up, losing Logan right off the bat. Just go ahead and go for a sack way to give them the ad they have now. Laz is trying to equalize things, or at least get the force out, but will not find success. But Logan, 2 HP. Oh, gets an arrow just in time. No follow-up, just going to be the Laz sack, and that's going to pretty much it from the side of Witness. They're out of there. No more attempts. Don't want to bleed another person. And I mean, if they back up, maybe they get their Uber in time for themselves. G6 have to cap. They're not quite on the move really yet. I mean, now they are, but it's dwindling. Logai's going to get his Uber in time. They're back up on bats, and if G6 stay in this too long, we might see an Uber exchange here. Kind of depends on how things go. They're kind of poking around through the train area. Soapy's trying to get in Z or cheese, depending on what you call it, and blasting him out. I think they've realized this is a little bit too difficult. Well, actually, they're kind of staying. Branson able to die. Logan collecting that kill, and big pick on a Artist. Yeah, Caps finds the opportunity, and once again, misplay from the side of Witness Gaming. I think the rest of the team had already started backing up, but Artist was really not. He didn't catch the memo. Just caught out pretty much. So no Dome, man. Floodgates open. Working their way through. Still have the Uber in play. Got a heavy on the field, though, so no mobility in that regard in the shutter. But on the point, capping it up a little bit to bring out the soldiers, bombing in, getting able to get the force. So Ash will be successful in that regard. They've got a couple players. Counter initiation from the side of Witness Gaming to brush forward with their own Uber. Howard unable to make the jump up to get to his teammates, and he will die, mistiming the spacebar. And the rest of G6, they know they're in too deep. They just got a bomb forward, dropping Logai to 7 HP, but that's 6 more than you need. He'll live through the encounter, and that's a good hold from the side of Witness.
That is indeed a very good hold from the side of Witness Gaming, as at least for me, it looks like we're heading into a bit of a pause. No?
Yep. I mean, you know, one round between the teams at the time of the pause, since in the future it's like 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
It could be just like, oh no, I'm lagging, whatever. It could just be a nice little tack. You know, make sure you close out the game in your favor. This map could be huge.
I wonder if they maybe someone capped and they realized that they didn't have a config set up, and they've got to restart it. Maybe something like that. I hope they do fix the config, because
I mean,
they
you just change the win limit, really.
Yeah, they do.
Because the time is the same, so it's really just whenever the game closes. Just set win limit 4.
That's true.
That's fine.
That's true. These players are on it. They probably know what's up. But as things currently are, it looks like Witness Gaming, you know, they're going to be able to this second really well. Little guys are going to have a good amount of Uber ad to work with here before anyone else on a like a G6 respawns or is really in position to defend. Soapmeister is up in forward spawn, so maybe he might try and go hide in kitchen or something like that while like a G6 Witness Gaming walk forward. But I mean, this could be definitely a second, maybe even a mid or another second, like a G6's second for Witness Gaming here, depending on how they play their cards.
Yeah, realistically, because everyone's death is like pretty fresh there from the side of G6, even though Witness Gaming's down a couple people, I mean, it's really just Soapy. Like, unless Logai doesn't get a pack for some reason, this should be pretty much a free second. The only thing that we might see is if G6 decides to just like do a random drive push, because they are technically gonna have disad if they don't want to like sit at mid. You can. There's some teams that will just like they won't have an advantage per se, but they just really like the idea of drawing through Snakewater lower due to a multitude of reasons, whether it be just their own confidence or maybe just the other team. They don't think they're very prepared, like as individuals for a setup for Snakewater second. So that's the most that we could maybe see, like other than just like a free second that turns into Logai having a little bit of ad. Well, the ad will be like it's not huge, really. So if we don't see like a random dry and the teams actually sit and build their Uber, Witness Game will probably do like a classic like Uber out of Saw, like jumping with their demo if it's big
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, they definitely could if everyone else on like a G6 are here to try and defend it. Um, make sure that they keep everyone good. Healthy. It looks like, unfortunately, it's Witness Gaming's mumble that's lagging. So I actually that's probably best case scenario. Aside from a attack, at least it's none of the players themselves lagging out. Like if it was low guy lagging out, and they have to give up some Uber ad, that would probably be the worst case scenario. So, if it's just mumble, you could maybe try and find another one. As we do, it looks like they are gonna unpause as they do start capping it up. Soapy Meister inside area, maybe just trying to peek and see what he can do. Witness Gaming capping it up. Looks like they're getting ready to just defend second right here, or keep their Uber in play. I can't really tell the Ubers because my game is still a bit bugged out, but
They actually have 50 ad. That's much more than I thought. I think the HUD kind of deceived me earlier, but yeah, no, they're 95. They're ready to go. It looks like it's still Saw. Might be immediately Ubering Artist. It looks like still to play, but it's much bigger margin. Trying to jump through, juggled a little bit, gonna be able to chase down people into kitchen. Oh, Brain Slam, catching a sticky from the side of Logan. Logan actually took a lot of damage, but was that a sniper or something that died? Yeah, okay, nice arrow from Logan, making sure the sniper threat is immediately removed. So 5v5 scenario, both down a singular scout, but the side of Howard, he almost has 95. Bomb coming in. He dies at 96% Uber. Nice air shot from the side of Ash, but or from the side of Logan, that is, rather, but Ash coming in clutch there.
Yeah, really, really great stuff there from Ash to get that. That kind of nullifies it. So now Loga is going to have huge Uber ad to work with here. Going to be on like a G6 to try and force that out, or make sure they can at least get maybe a few cheeky picks or back caps or something of the like to try and make this Witness Gaming Uber non-ideal, as a similar position to where we just were. And with loading 2 picks, that's a great way to do it. Bot mode's also on the spy, but with as an artist going down, that's what you'd like to see. So now, like a G6, gonna be trying to this point, because even though they don't have Uber just quite yet, they do have a lot of room to work with, or maybe just try and make a distraction for bot mode. Oh my
he
God,
defocus on a soldier. He's just sitting next to him, trying to revolve a low guy, no shots onto him. So actually, the tables have turned. That is like the worst, unfortunate circumstances to get those 2 free kills, but you have a spy. So Force comes in from the side of Witness. They flood through. They gave up 2 for it. Caps might find more if he gets enough damage onto Ash. He's focusing him down. He's going to be able to clean up the kill, taking some damage himself from the side of Artist, but the presence is still there. Zilly with the flank. Everyone's kind of left him in the dust, so I think there might be a misplay there and miscommunication, the level of aggression. But nonetheless, overall very successful from the side of G6, and they're in a pretty good spot. They still have to get some people situated and make sure they're all ready and done to roll out. Artist is actually putting tons of damage onto them to slow them down, but bot mode and Sophie are really deep now, finally getting the force. Sophie giving his life, trying to chase down bot mode into the slow area, just making them waste as much time as possible, able to collect that kill, and it looks like they're raring and ready to go through lower. They have a player ad to work with. They've got a couple people ready to show up through Saw, and they're jumping forward, locking them out, and G6 know this is a little bit more than they can handle.
Yeah, it is. They are gonna back out, take that Uber ad, and yeah, there we go. Finally, the complex fix. I'm happy. They're gonna take the Uber ad and just try and work their way in. It looks like they're kind of gearing up by Saw. Gonna be trying to clear to see what the defense on Witness Gaming is like, and try and take it out both buildings still. Yeah, they are going to pop through, leading it on their scout and their demo. I don't think they're going to be able to get much with it, actually, so kind of a non-ideal Uber, all things considered right now. High Five still kind of in kitchen right now. He's going to be fairly early on the aggression, just going to be walking forward. Oh my God, he takes down bot mode. The Uber coming in from the rest of the Witness Gaming players. That's going to be the only pick they get, but they do deny the cap, so all things considered pretty good. They might want to try and drive this in through yard, and with High Five leading the charge there. That is what they're going to do. They're sending in their soldiers in super deep right now. Going to be trying to take down Zilly and Soapy. Soapy's super weak. Can he meet up with his team? He is going to be able to. But Logan, he's disconnected, just waddling there on the point right now. Can Caps get out? Yeah, he does. He takes a few stickies, but he's able to meet with a Howard right there. So Really great stuff, really great aggression from the side of Witness Gaming. Howard is going to be close to that Uber, so there should be good for a last defense, but good stuff from Witness Gaming regardless to put the aggression on.
Yeah, and this ad is it's 20% and already starting to drop. There's no way they can really use this, but they're poking around. I think they're seeing if things are close enough. I mean, you could use a 20 ad if they're literally right there, and chances are they're not. But yeah, it's always nice to just go ahead and see, poke your head in lobby and see if they have to be there. But bot mode on sniper is going to be the play to see if they can try to have this defense shape up, and gonna actually be no gun for the side of G6 yet. So Witness Gaming, if they get their sacks in early enough, they might find an ample opportunity to get some kills and get a force. They already found one on Azili. They're working their way over, up through lower, working their way towards the shutter right now is Ash and the rest of the team to see if they can, find an open door, but they're actually taking things a little bit slow. Do they think, I guess now they realize there's no gun and they're working their way through. Laz on to Howard. Oh, he drops his Uber. I think he was very confident in his surf, but his model slammed against the truck, doesn't get the distance he need, and this is just a free Uber end point for the side of Witness Gaming.
It is indeed, and that is the 4-2 for the side of Witness Gaming. Match point, so to speak. And they actually no, it is match point, and so it's going to be on RGLgg to try and see if they can get back in to this game. Their mids, all things considered, have been pretty okay. Maybe they haven't won them straight up, but they've been able to keep Howard alive and been able to re-aggress with the Ubrad, which has worked out, quite a few times for them, at least on the mid. So it's not really them they have to worry about. It's really just the rest of the transition fights in the game. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can have similar success. Soapmaster going in for the fake bomb once again. Just going to be trying to pressure these Witness Gaming players right now. It looks like he is going to be trying to go in through Kitchen, but bot mode going down. We do see the soldiers going in super deep. Just going to be trying to take down. They do take down Ash, but that's not really the one trying to collapse on. With Artist going down, however, looks like G6. Laz. Oh, in behind, just waddling his way through lower right there. Going to be taking the pick out onto Howard. He's going to go down, and now it's just Logan alive. He might be able to get out. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to leave him. Make sure they keep all of their players alive right there. So good stuff from the side of Witness Gaming, especially great stuff from Laz to wrap around behind there, get the pick out on the Howard.
Yeah, it says something if Laz is kind of not messing around, but he's just working his way, like he's not really in the fight quite yet, and it still ends up to a 3v3 at the end of that. So they get rewarded with him being behind, pinching, making sure that Howard is dead, and they've got the mid under control. So they're able to make sure that it's theirs, but they're going to have to put in some work to, and more particularly the Uber, to take this too. Launching themselves up through the ramp and through cheese, but not really anything to find. So far, both these teams are very explosive right now with their Ubers, and G6 is being explosive right now, getting their way through dry. They're able to make sure they got some space. They're giving up Silly for it, finally taking down Brand Slam, but both soldiers gone. No more resources to use, trying to launch themselves forward to take down Artists, but will not be successful in that endeavor. So an ambitious dry fight will not work their way, and that was desperation incarnate. 2 minutes left. They had to do something. They had to try to go for a dry, but it will not be enough. Witness Gaming have it in the bag, are able to take the match, or at least not the match, but the map, 5-2.
Yes, they do. I think that was your scoreline, so good job on predicting it very accurately. But yeah, Witness Gaming really coming alive in that second half, doing a lot better, kind of looking a lot more dominant, showing it why it was their map, why they chose it. And they, like G6, sure, they did get their rounds in that second half, but definitely a bit more trouble, especially in the kind of the transition fights and, just making sure, because even though like it seemed like Howard was staying alive fairly well, it just seemed like they'd lose like a couple players or they'd let someone get behind and maybe they just take a too ambitious dry fight, and Witness Gaming was able to bounce on it and just they collapse and steamroll them forward. But still, good showing from both of the two teams. Excited for the next map process, but I mean, what'd you think of that map in total, Jared?
I think it was really interesting if you look at it on a lot of the small things. They showed that they had similar playbooks when it came to like going behind and the ways that they would try to address stalemate.
Yeah.
And then when it came to the halftime and both teams were exposed that, oh, you have a problem with people going behind that you need to deal with, they both showed that they were able to plug those leaks. They both did a really good job of making sure that they can no longer really happen to the same extent. With that kind of eliminated out of the board and both teams have to go to a plan B when it came to taking ground, it seems like Witness Gaming overall had a more stable plan beyond just the mids. Like G6 had most of the mids on lockdown, even though it wasn't them winning the mid, it was them just making sure that Logai was dead. So they would have some sort of Uber ad to kind of like put things in their favor. But overall, I think the defense of Witness Gaming was able to defend against that, even though that G6 would have ads to use against Witness Gaming a lot, and they weren't able to use going behind as a mechanism to kind of put things in their favor. They're still able to make sure that at the end of the day that they're able to have enough players alive, or in the leapfrog scenarios that they are able to get a little bit more and kind of steamroll multiple points in a row to actually get those rounds for free. I don't think we
Yeah.
if my memory serves me correctly, I feel like most of the rounds that Witness Gaming got were not because of what exactly happened on last, but because of what happened on 2. 2 went
Yeah,
badly,
second.
and then that rolled over into a last point, which is very opposite of what we saw in the first half, where it was literally just them trying to break in last and almost. I mean, they gave up the point for free. 9 minutes went by, they four-manned and just gave them 2. So
Yeah.
it seems like they knew where their problems lied and where they needed to seriously focus on, and they cracked 2 enough to make sure that was their gateway to getting the rounds they needed to win.
100%. Sometimes the best way on the last is just having a really great push out on the second. Quickly looking at the logs, I just got to point out Art is doing massive amount of damage, doing 357 for such a long game. So good stuff from him, specifically in that second half, not the combined logs as well. And then Brand Slam going 24 and 10. So some good, good stat lines from the side of Witness Gaming as you'd probably expect. And so next map is going to be Process. Before we do that, we have a little video for you guys to watch. So sit tight and we'll be back in just a few seconds. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that little video we had for y'all. We're still here on Witness Gaming versus Leica G6. This is going to be the second map on Process. If you didn't watch the first map, that's okay. The scoreline was 5-2 in favor of Witness Gaming over there on Snakewater. But we're here on Process. Real quick before we dive into things, just a huge shout outs to all the teams for agreeing to this weekend format. A lot better than having it dragged out over the course of a lot of weeks. It's kind of similar to LAN environment where it's all in a weekend. Along with that, huge shout outs to Dolphin. Give Dolphin some love in the chat for sticking with it this whole weekend and producing all of it. So great stuff from him. Great stuff from all the players as well. And it's going to be interesting to go in here to this second map Process. Was Leica G6's map pick. So technically, they thought, they had something in here, something that they thought would give them the edge over Witness. We saw on Snakewater, they did have, a few kind of moments of a life or energy in the game. They were definitely holding their own at certain points in it. So I don't think it's going to be a pushover or an easy win for Witness Gaming by any regards. And I definitely think that Leica G6 can pull out the win here. And if we do see that, it is going to go on the product, which is even juicier and even more tantalizing to think about that matchup. But before we get there, we have to think about Process. Actually, Process a scout map, and they, as Jared did say earlier, we're kind of looking at the scouts for the side of Leica G6 to really be the driving fact and the driving force there. That's not to discount Soapy Meister or Zilly whatsoever. They were doing a few good plays. Soapy Meister had a lot of great wraparound as well to try and get on to Lolgai as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. We did see some bot mode sniper as well. And it's going to be hopefully a good matchup as we're waiting for all of the players to get into the server. Once again, if you're not aware, this is going to be a weekend tournament. So after it is going to be the upper bracket semifinals. So the winner of this is going to go on to play the winner of Froyotech versus the Cozy crew, Cozy squad.
Cozy Brothers.
Cozy Brothers. Okay, what's that? Oh, Jarrett, you're back. I hope you had a good little break there. And so yeah, that's gonna be a matchup regardless of whichever of these teams goes on to fight whichever of those two teams. But what do you initially think about Process? I'm gonna go get some water myself real quick. But what do you think about Process? And you're talking earlier about it being a bit more of a scout map and maybe a bit more in favor of Leica 6. Do you think that's going to be the case, or do you think Witness Gaming are just going to have a stranglehold over Leica G6?
Well, I think G6 definitely picked this map for a reason, obviously. if you flash back to the match that was just previously played, they played on Sunshine. And there's a lot of similarities between Process and Sunshine in terms of how it can be a scout heaven sometimes, and soldiers are kind of just locked into just doing skybox bombs and just kind of having to give their life if they want to really commit to anything. It can be a little bit rough sometimes, but it definitely showed some promise. They ultimately lost the match, but it's the closest showing they've had since they beat Witness Gaming on LAN. So it kind of makes sense to stick to what you know, and they definitely are able to put a lot of emphasis on their scouts cleaning up a lot of kills and putting in a lot of damage for them to kind of put themselves in motion and make sure that everything's all ready to go. I think a big thing when it comes to the map geometry is sometimes things kind of get in the way, and it can be difficult to really focus fire properly if there's a lot of props around, or
Mhm.
there's a lot of walls in the way to prevent you from really seeing what's going on. But beyond the transitional areas, when it comes to maps like Process and Sunshine, when you get out through the doorways, like out into mid or out into two, if you can for the most part see where everything is and know like who's overextending, what needs to happen, where other maps it can kind of be like slightly more cluttered and you're not really sure where everything is. Like some maps there's unders, some maps the underneath leave weird angles, you don't really know like what's happening. Like for example, we just
Metalworks
we just
second.
played we like the Sunshine mid. Sometimes you're on the floor, you just literally don't know what's top right. Someone has to tell you. But here, for the most
Yeah.
part, you can kind of see everything, and if anyone's hiding behind the crate, you don't really care because they're not really a threat in a prime position to like stop soldiers or anything like that. It's actually behind the crate can be kind of a death zone, really. So I think G6 has some promise here. They do have their work cut out for them because even though this is probably one of the better maps they could have played, it's not going to necessarily be like, oh, they'll win this for sure. This is I
Mhm.
think it's still going to be slightly Witness Gaming favored, but I think G6 is going to be able to put in some work. I guess the big question is though, is because they just played a very similar to map to this in terms of Sunshine, that even though they showed some strengths and what they're capable of, and they're able to put some rounds on the board, Witness Gaming also had a showing of, here's what you're good at, here's where your weaknesses lie. So Witness Gaming also
Yeah.
has an opportunity because they had a chance to figure out, okay, the map's gonna be processed to kind of know like what they need to change when it comes to playing big and open maps like this. So even though G6 did good for now, who knows if it's a thing that's gonna be like, "Oh, well, this you're gonna do good on this map because 'cause you're inclined to believe that they can repeat their performance," or is it gonna be a deal where Witness Gaming kinda fix their mistakes, and G6's game plan to going into this map is not gonna necessarily be the driving force that leads them to collect rounds like they did prior. They could go in with
Yeah.
an idea of how the game's gonna go, and all of a sudden, the playbook that Witness Gaming brings tonight is much differently than the one they brought previously. So I think it's going to be another battle of you need to even though we just played Sunshine recently, I think it's going to be similar to Snakewater where you kind of have to feel things out a little bit and figure out exactly what everyone's bringing to the table and then you can go from there. I don't think this is going to be a different case where you kind of know what to expect and then you can hard counter people straight from the gate. Like you can try a little bit, but I kind of put faith in Witness Gaming to at least fix some of their mistakes because they're probably not very comfortable with the map being that close Sunshine, and have probably addressed it somewhat, but I mean, it's as much as we go back to the Sunshine game, this is a different map, like, there are some
Yeah.
similarities, but it's not exactly the same. 1 or 2 small things could make or break whether or not you find a whole lot of success when it comes to, like, stalemates, their ability to get forces on different points, so I think when it comes to predictions, transitioning into that, I kinda am feeling that G6 can do a little bit better, but I don't know by how much. I'm kinda thinking that it's gonna be a repeat of the Sunshine game where it's gonna be a 5-3, especially because 'cause they've definitely shown that they're coming to they're bringing everything to the table tonight. They put on
Yeah.
a respectable performance in the beginning, even though things kinda faltered off. But, I think maybe this time around things will be a little bit stronger since this is more their comfort zone and it's their pick.
Yeah, so a 5-3, a Witness Gaming win 5-3?
Yeah.
Or geez, okay, yeah. I'd have to I'm gonna be a believer here. I'm gonna say, like, G6 pull it out. I think it's gonna be very close, so I'm gonna say 4-3 for like a G6. I think that was maybe my Snakewater prediction. I just like the idea of a 4-3. It means a lot of back and forth action. But yeah, I definitely agree on a lot of what you're saying. I think if they, it's really going to be about who can adapt to what the other team is doing because like you said, sure, a lot of these teams have certain play styles and the way they like to play, but really, in any game of TF2, it's just about adapting to what the player is doing in the moment and trying to spot the current kind of routines and how they like to do things because that can change day to day. Like in dim review and you know acknowledge that certain things aren't working and like you said, some of the things that Witness Gaming might have been doing on Sunshine, that like a G6 were taking advantage of on a similar map like this. Would have assumed that like you said, they would have talked about it or done something towards it. So it's going to be on whether both of these teams can do what they're doing and how much their kind of preconceived notions about the other team might dictate what they do, what they don't do. But when we do get to more kind of a little player specific things, did see a bit of Sniper working out well for the side of a bot mode. Do you think that might be something potentially in the playbook of like a G6, as process is probably the best 5 CP map for Sniper to go full time if you wanted to even think about doing that. So do you think we might see that might be in the playbook for like a G6 if they're feeling a bit maybe feeling a bit challenged by a particular hold from Witness Gaming, or do you think we might only see that on the last holds?
If we saw it on Snakewater, it's likely we'll see it on Process. So it's like you said, it's a little bit better for the side of Process when it comes to the sniper gameplay. There's just a little bit more that you can see, and you don't have to put yourself out there as much. The angles are just a little bit better, and that means that you don't have to play super risky. Because that's the big thing. You don't want to just you can get stuck on sniper sometimes, like where you don't want to be,
Yeah.
but at least like making sure that you can get a kill, have enough shots to get a kill before you die is good enough. So getting some distance between you and the rest of the team before you start your shots is pretty important. I think a sniper on mid to try to break a stalemate, whether it's like trying to, or actually all over really, even beyond last, like the snipers that will sit and roll out to try to prevent like forces from happening that are way too
Yeah,
deep,
from choke, yeah.
or just the classic like we own mid, let's put our sniper in sewer to break into second. Like both directions I think are pretty strong. So I would be very surprised if we didn't see it at least once outside of last, but uh
Yeah. We
yeah,
could definitely see yeah, we could
it might
definitely
be
see
both
s
teams really, because I feel like High
yeah.
Five might do it a little bit. He played sniper a little bit. It was just last, but maybe if it's a bit more favorable, he might do it a bit more as well. So
That's true. Yeah, I think he went out onto second when they were trying to push into second as Sniper, but I think maybe he got shot down almost immediately. But regardless, this is going to be the second map of the second map in Witness Gaming versus Like a G6 on Process. We do see that is going to be one of the soldiers getting aggressive onto Logan, but he does back up. Looks like G6 is going to be trying to play this right area, but Witness going to be going in super deep. Going to be trying to get onto Logan. That is going to be Ash. Last commits for it, and he does die because of it. So now Zilly and crew making a lot of space for his team, just bombing across the point right now, bullying these Witness Gaming out. Are just going down so low. He is able to be beamed up and arrowed up, so he is going to stay alive. But really great stuff from Like a G6 there to just bully Witness Gaming out. They didn't have to lose anyone, nor did they really have to commit any bodies. They were just able to force them out with their better positioning.
yeah, they lost Laz immediately, and they immediately lose Laz again. I talked about it in the Snakewater game. Sometimes Witness Gaming are unable to really get their initiation off, and it seems to be a domino effect in their ability to actually be effective on some of these mids, and we're starting to see it a lot more in the side of Process where everything's more available to be seen right off the bat here. So they're trying to make some space off the fact that there's a little bit more room, but will not go ahead and go for the commit there. I'm just gonna go and just let things linger a little bit, but looking like we have our first stalemate early. And what is Soapy doing? He's on heavy? He's okay. He was just holding the door open and just like, okay, so it's bot mode on Sniper early on. Now another flashback to what we talked about, the early off classes. You don't need to go for some sort of desperation play, but the fact that you're doing Sniper this early, I mean, one, it might be a bit of a surprise. It's always very beneficial to getting kills, and two, I mean, this is a very more sniper-centric map when it comes to stalemates. So the sniper is shown. He's taking the shots through the shutter, and when it's gaming on the move, they don't want to let him take shot after shot after shot. So they're getting a little bit closer to see if they can pester him a little bit. Branson's actually entering the sewer, but gonna think twice of it and make sure he doesn't accidentally die. But it's good from Witness Gaming here. They're trying to do something proactive so the Bombo doesn't eventually just get a kill. They can't let him take shot after shot and eventually find success. Artist taking a little bit of damage, but will be a-okay after a surf backwards. And, G6, they're still fine where they are now. He gets a headshot. I didn't see who that was, but either way, that is a lot of damage out onto the side of Witness that are going to prevent their hold from happening. Looks like there was some IT shenanigans that happened, but didn't really lead to anything fruitful, as Last has to go back for a pack. So any aggression there will be immediately thwarted, and bot mode's still in a position to continually peek the shutter. Logan, Zilly taking a little bit of damage, no beam as they poke through the choke, but will not see the initiation
Soapy
there, but the
Meister
initiation coming from Soapy instead. Bombing his way through. Yeah, Laz was going back for a pack, wasn't able to hold the door. Soapy finding the moment to get behind and get that force. What an ample timing there, and that's exactly what you want if your sniper's not able to get the shots you need. Nice
really
flank.
Good. Yeah. Because even if your sniper isn't hitting the shots, maybe in the positioning that they're using to defend against the sniper, you can maybe try and find or a weakness there in how they're positioning. And Soapy definitely doing it. Just unfortunate for Laz that he was going back to get a pack at that time. So that is going to be like a G6 taking a hold of the second point right now. We do see High Five going into IT right now. He is going to be in a 2v1 against soldiers right now, getting a lot of doubt onto a I think that's Zilly right there, but he is gonna die. Laz going down as well to a body shot from bot mode, so good stuff there. So now they have 2 picks to work with, and still a full they do have Uber ad. It is very close. Low guy almost has 90%, so they have to be quick if they want to try and use this to get him. Looks like they are going to use this now. Walking forward, Low guy now does have, going to be popping it up onto his demo, and Scout going to be trying to push them out like a G6 out of their last right now. They are going to be able to back it up. Oh, nice rocket right there from Soapy Meister onto Laz. He does die regardless, but still good upward direct right there. Going to be bombing in their demo super deep to get on that sniper. Not really doing much there. Whole entire exchange. So, you know, that's kind of a downfall of Sniper in those moments where you're trying to push Laz off that momentum and your Sniper's not hitting anything. That is just a scout down. Looks like it did take the 4 spawns. They take a lot of damage because of it. Trying to back out there. They do a lot of damage in return. Soapy trading out for Laz, but they are all back up here in this choke area, and Witness Gaming have so much ground that, yeah, like G6 are going to back up. We do see Cap still in, kind of alone. Now the rest of his team going to be back in to try and help him here. And they are going to be trying to contest these Witness Gaming players on the high ground. Now finally Zilly jumping in, making a bit of space. Bot mode coming in here to try and help him with it. And but yeah, they do force out the Uber from the side of Witness Gaming, recognizing that they did have ad. Howard did not have quite just yet. Zilly going down to single digits there as well, but oh yeah, the Uber ad gonna be coming back in from the side of like a G6. Versticky's on the rock. Hopefully they clear it or no one dies to it. We do see a soldier fake as well. Cap is going down super low. They're gonna be bullying Witness Gaming out right here without having to use that's the ideal situation.
Howard, he backed up into the trap. Artist held onto it for so long.
And that's disastrous because it looks like they were gonna be able to back Witness Gaming out of into second right there without having to use, but Howard dies, and that is going to be Witness Gaming with full Uber ad, a mid to cap up right here, as we do see some cheeky like a G6 players still on mid here, just trying to be a bit of a nuisance. I'm trying to get some maybe a pick or onto Lol guy or an important player like Artist. We do see Zilly in behind. They do know about him. Gonna be true in his to deny him. Yeah, he does go down kind of in the air right there. As a Soapy Meister still in here. Yeah, he's now going to jump out well when the attention is directed towards him. And now they've just got to get all of these Light X players out, which is what Witness Gaming does. They do back it up, buying time for a bit of Uber. They might be able to get on to last if they build really well here. But at the end of the day, a mid cap up for Witness Gaming, and it looks like they're taking it through IT, Jared.
Yeah, they might be able to find themselves free. No one's really in position to stop this. They might go a long way around. It's not immediately jumping into them, I don't think. They're too far away in one door and two, so yeah. Just taking that for free, recognizing that they can actually use this for last and not have to just jump straight in and get no kill is a very smart play from the side of Witness, but they're still on the move. It's kind of dwindling a little bit. They got to make sure they do this fast, and actually I think Howard's definitely going to get by the time they actually go. They're inside lobby, trying to poke around, have a scout running through, Soldier trying to counter-initiate in. Bazilli will give up his life, Laz will die to the gun, so 5v5 scenario right now, but Witness Gaming, surely, yeah, they know this is a little bit too much for them right now. They're finding some openings they can get through. Actually, Ash has committed in and gotten some damage and made sure the bot mode is dead, so no engineer on the field, so they're still poking around. They know for sure that Howard has Uber by now. Howard will die to a pipe chasing down Logan, but Soapy getting killed by Ransom over on the 2 side of things. So at the end of the day, some chaos theme, they can try to find a way to at least maybe get a force, even if they weren't able to use the ad. But no dice quite yet. Poking around through 1 and 2. Gonna have Laz initiation popping in his way in to try to get Howard to pop. It will not be successful, and Laz will end up dying. So Sack in, not gonna find too much. Bot mode actually going back up on engineer to rebuild this gun, and Cap's on the move maybe to scope things out. No one's really in position to counter Sack, so looks like things are finally slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, Cap's peeking that a lobby area. Soapy Meister just getting those spam rockets out and maybe trying to inflate his DPM just a little bit. We do see one of his scouts peek in the rollout area. I think that's high five. So now Witness Gaming moving back into lobby. Going to be trying to pressure here to try and get some space for a sack. They have to deal with that sentry gun from bot mode first and foremost if they really want to go for a soldier sack, something of the likes. You know, like as G6, once again on their last, they've had good last holds or defenses on Snakewater. Let's see if they can do it again on process. Guy just hiding below, just trying to make sure he's out of the way of any potential spam, like a stray pipe that might come and hit him in the head. As we do see Logan just trying to spam it out. He knows they're in lobby, or at least trying to peek towards it. Looks like they're rotating back around. Gonna try and peek this rollout in maybe one area. Yeah, they're collapsing out onto Zilly. Zilly going down super low there, but Logan's actually gonna take down high five there. So kind of not how they wanted things to go. Soapy Meister instantly gonna take himself out. Oh.
No stickies. Ample opportunity for G6 to poke around. Actually, Zilly's entering IT a little bit, might find a way to enter in, but Little Soldier's making space, putting some damage onto him as well. Doesn't seem like G6ers are really doing anything more than spamming. I don't think they're able to find an opportunity to really initiate. It mostly would be on Zilly since Soapy is dead, who is finally working his way behind into IT, dueling Laz, able to collect that kill and staying alive for now. High Five is on the move to see if they can find him dropping down onto the pack and will eventually collect that kill. So nothing more than just a trade there for the side of G6. So Witness Gaming holding on strong despite losing the demo early on. So still in the driver's seat, re-entering lobby with their squad and actually using the Zilly death to see if they can maybe get a kill or spam down that gun.
Yeah, look like they're trying to peek 5. We do have Ash sitting on the windowsill to try and get some good spam angles there. We do see High Five going down a bit low in the side of one, so he's going to back and get some heals to try and work with. So at this point, you know, a pretty good last defense from the side of Leica G6. Looks like they're going to be trying to rush one. This might just Uber exchange. Yeah, they are going to bust High Five out. Oh, they didn't have to use there. They do drop Artist, though. It looks like they were probably going to try and just take the Uber exchange, as they kind of did on Sek a few times. So now we do see Leica G6.
Block.
Oh, my, yeah. He goes down super high. That's going to be Zilly right there. And now it's only the Scout in the med alive to be High Five trying to run up to try and meet up with him. They do finally use the Uber right there. Howard still has. They do drop bot mode, but that's going to be an acceptable drop for them right there. If they can keep everyone up, which they do, they are going to take down Brand Slam. So they're probably going to wait for at least one of their spawners, Zilly or bot mode, and they're going to be trying to get out here onto the point. Howard still has 100% ad. They were a bit hesitant about pushing out on Snakewater. Looks like they're not going to be so hesitant here, as they're going to be trying to bust through one right now. Cap's taking a bit of damage, but going to be successfully getting through that door. We do see a soldier high bomb going to be taking him down. He is dropped in the Uber. They do use. They're not going to be able to get that soldier just the arrow next to him, and he's able to get out through. It's going to be Sophie that goes down instead. So now this disaster for Leica G6. They're going to have to back up to their last, and they do lose two in that. Uber not quite yet from the side of Witness Gaming. That's not stopping them. They're going to be busting in through 5 right now. They're going to be taking the space. Going to be trying to get the pick.
The snipe on the whole guy, though. That's huge. No heals for Witness Gaming. Howard, though, going to fall as well. Ash going in, so only a couple players left alive from either team. So much red health on the side of Witness Gaming squad. It's just Ash now trying to find at least one kill at the end of the day. Found 2 players on top of each other, but not quite hurt enough to collect a kill there, so at the end of the day, G6, after, you know, shaky push out of last, they're at least able to hold on. They salvaged a tiny bit. They lost their own medic in the grand scheme of things, but at least they're able to position themselves on their own 2 once again to try to defend against the Witness Gaming onslaught. They're actually recognizing that Howard, he's a late death, so he's not really in position. These buffs on G6 are not that great, and they're trying to just fight off not only positioning, but just maybe a little bit better health. Just trying to take a little DM fight. Artist. Oh, he found himself on top of a tiny little sticky trap that Logan just placed right at the end there, and Laz gonna fall as well, not able to escape, so ambitious, not really gonna work out. Immediately 2 dead for the side of Witness Gaming at the start of that fight, so on their way out mid, there's no way they can really fight this long term, and G6, they take a free mid off of that nice defense they had.
Yeah, I would be surprised to see an immediate sack attempt while there's still 2 down. One of the players is rolling out, but no, it looks like Witness Gaming going to be using the Uber very aggressively here. Howard almost has at about 90. They popped through the choke right there, just going to be trying to bomb their demo. Didn't do much of anything. Clearing that sticky trap this time. Good on bot mode. We do see Ash going super deep. Oh my god, that rocket just launching him away from Howard. going to be able to keep him safe and alive. We do see High Five still in by the choke area, going to be taking down Soapy with Artis. Artis going to be able to, no, he does go down by choke, not able to stay alive right there. See, that is Laz going to be trying to pressure Sewer, but no, Zilly is going to be able to stay alive as we see RGLgg going to be busting in through choke right here. They do want to try and take, without having to use, actually, as I say that, they do use from a nice bomb from Laz, going back into Sewer, still staying alive, now finally going to be dead. So, good stuff from them. Witness Gaming Lil Guy is going to have a bit of Uber ad to work with here, so it's going to be on them to push out as RGLgg are going to be able to up the second, and it's going to be interesting to see how Witness Gaming out here. They got to defend against the back cap attempts that you might be seeing from RGLgg.
Now they're poking around through one, trying to go through the door. It is trapped, so you have to be careful. It might lead to some spam coming from both these soldiers as they begin to clear it, but for the most part, the health is okay. They've shown their card that this is the door they're going to be walking through as they finally bust their way through, while they're delaying a little bit in case a soldier bomb comes through, but actually no. No one from the side of G6 able to commit. Actually, Zilly got really weak, unable to really bomb, and same with Soapy, not in quite the position you need, so a free second, haven't used their Uber yet. It's dwindling a little bit at 10%, so this is not free by any means, and I think they've recognized that, so Witness Gaming content with the free point, just going to go ahead and let things kind of slow down a little bit after they've retaken their own two. G6 and now a prime position to try to put the game back in their hands and go and see if they can break this stalemate. Looks like IT is going to be the play. Maybe pick on a Laz or maybe getting someone behind, but Soapy not really going to find too much more than his death.
Yeah, I like that idea, rushing IT, maybe try and catch out that lone flank player, but he's backed up, kind of expecting that maybe Ash going in for a super high bomb, going to be getting a nice rocket out on
Howard's down two.
Howard.
Howard's on two. He surfed all the way out. But because they know this Witness game is like, okay, let's just kill Logan. He's not beamed. There's no way he's more than 175. And they're right. They immediately melt him down. So even though they lost two soldiers and wasn't able to get the force, they did get the demo, but bot mode on Sniper is a threat long term. Unable to really fight in this mid after getting that demo kill. Witness Gaming back up and just use that salvage and use the knowledge to try to continue to hold on to this point. They position themselves inside IT, but they are eventually going to have to make some moves somewhere, whether that's going to be, busting into sewer or trying to kill someone, choke, or IT, who knows, but they're actually getting really aggressive here.
Almost
rotation through Al-Qaeda. Just an Uber exchange in sewer.
Yeah, they're taking the Uber into them, recognizing that they're all there. They probably saw bot mode through Al-Qaeda, and they use in and trying to collapse, make them sure they flash everyone as well. So they're going to take that pick from bot mode, just taking the aggression through Chuck right here. A huge bomb. He does eventually go down. Zilly going down as well. And so now, trades are even. Both soldiers are out of the fight right now as we do see bot mode rolling back, and we do see going to be High Five going to be trading out with Caps. Logan going to be taking the pipe there. So good stuff. 3 down on both sides, but no scouts on the side of Witness Gaming. So might see RGLgg try and peek in here. It's really just Artis and Laz now in upper IT area to try and defend against this. RGLgg in their time, just trying to peek this. I don't think they're going to commit to it. No, as the spawners from Witness Gaming come up. Oh,
ceiling above his head, can't jump out. Unfortunate. That was a pretty good play from the side of Witness when they Ubered into the sewer to kind of spark that attempt to push in a mid, but I think they went a little bit too deep with their drive, but they're trying again off the one pick. Going to be a different scenario this time. They do have a slight ad that they could use if things go a little bit their way, but High Five very deep once again. They're sending a lot of players way into the enemy team sewer before they're even past their rock, really, so didn't learn from the mistake before, and it's going to net them another lost attempt to try to go ahead and take mid, so just going to be an opportunity for G6 to kind of compose themselves. They have a pick to work off of. It's not a spam class, but they take some ground nonetheless. So just bombing high. Soapy actually committing on the low guy, immediately melting. Rog on the low guy though, so he's going to be a little bit weak, not in the prime position to heal a lot of players, and that's going to mean that G6 is A-okay staying in long term. He actually had bot mode trying to walk his way up to the point a little bit, but the bomb from Laz, trying to get some space, finds Howard to get it's a wall, and he dies back against the wall, unable to surf, and immediately just melts the rest of G6 following in suit. Caps will die in sewer as well. It's just bot mode and Soapy left alive, and Soapy's not even here. Bot mode's trying to fight a 1v1. It turns into a 2v1. Very quickly cleaned up by the side of Ash. Soapy seeing if he can get something himself off the distraction. Bot mode behind will not find success. And overall, how quickly it crumbles just off of a drop.
Yeah, and what a drop was, just being smushed up against that wall. So now, RGLgg, they have to once again back on their last right here. They won't have had probably to defend, so they've got to get all the off classes up. We do see Caps on the sentry gun right now. It's going to be interesting to see where Witness Gaming takes it. Looks like we're just going to be healing up, to position himself to go into lobby, maybe trying to take this in through 3 or 4 demo. Uber gonna try and jump the demo into the sentry gun to try and take it down. Initially, the sentry gun being built up on the left side where you probably expect it. Yeah, and that's what they're gonna do. Taking it in through 4. Gonna be trying sticky out. Gonna focus fire down the heavy almost immediately. So that late game heavy not gonna be a factor at all. They get 2 already, so really good start to this Uber. Gonna be trying to focus fire down Soapy at the beginning. Ash on a 5. Okay, everyone on the side of RGLgg is just going down. They got the time on the point, and that is gonna be the first round for Witness Gaming.
That's a very nice aggressive Uber. There's 2 ways that you can go about an Uber. Either corral the other team and then launch after the post Uber, or you just immediately go as soon as the gun's down. And they noticed that heavy was not near that shutter at all. Immediately went towards him, found a way to kill him. No corners for him to hide behind, and that's a free kill and a lot of their defense down, especially after the gun as well. So things gotta come from there, take up top control, and there's no way for the side of G6 to really hold against that after the Uber is pretty much over. So another mid, back to the drawing board, and a lot of height control from the side of Witness Gaming right off the bat. G6 don't really have any control here so far. They are able to get Ash, but Logan will give up his life after he gets double bombed. Soapy taken down by high 5. Bot mode with the salvage going in and rushing forward and killing Logai out of the equation. Artist salvage, killing Artist. So once again, back to the drawing board we go, and it is once again the classic G6. Just go in, just kill Logai and back up. It's worked before to quote unquote like lose, win, like you lost mid, but you're in a driver's seat, like good position right now with the ad. So this is what they're comfortable with. It's what's worked so far, but is it enough to make sure that they're able to continue forward and collect a round on the board? So only time will tell as they begin to poke their way through choke, as now the Uber is in the equation.
Yeah, ideally they don't have to use here, and they can just bully Witness Gaming back, or if they do use, they get a lot of picks, so they can steamroll this onto second. Oh my god, a nice rocket from Soapy onto last. I don't even know if that was meant for last. It was. Really great stuff from him right there. They do end up using the Uber, and even though that kill onto last was really nice, that's not really the pick you want. So they are just going to try and drive this while the Uber's not in play from Logai. Logai going to be able to surf out to roll out. They do commit 2 for it. Soapy and Zilly do go down. So now, like a G6 are in the back foot. They have to back out. Babo getting a nice little, 1v1 there in IT right there onto high 5. So Bummo just running for it at Branslam. He has no fear in his heart, does die because of it. So now it looks like a G6 going to be trying to just stick in here as long as they possibly can. I don't think they're going to get any of their scout forward spawners, so they are going to have to play pretty far back. No scout speed to run Howard out if they do decide to go in. And looks like they are going to be in their soldiers to just try and make space. Soapy a bit hurt already. I'm going to be worried if Logan does get out. Yeah, Soapy does die. So it looks like they are going to be trying to stay in here. They do have their spawners, so they are going to be trying to maybe take the Uber exchange. It looks like that might be what Caps wants to try and do. He's walking forward, just kind of bullying Logai down. Logai going down a fairly to about half health right there. So yeah, with high 5 going down as well, Witness Gaming just might abort the push. Yeah, Grand Slam going down. 3 down on the side of Witness Gaming, so we're just going to leave through sewer. Really great stuff from Like a G6 to hold that there. They definitely could have been wiped back to their last, but great positioning. And they were able to keep it. And now they're going to be trying to make a play onto middle right there, just bullying Witness Gaming back through choke. And even though Ubers are even, Witness Gaming just didn't really want to take the Uber exchange there to maybe try and defend that mid. So we're just going to be happy to come back onto their second point and stalemate things out.
Yeah, they thwarted high 5 really well and made sure to catch Brand Slam. So with no scouts on the field, there's no way you're holding mid there. It's a free point for the side of G6. So a little bit of deja vu. G6 holding mid, able to find a way to break into it. And once again, yeah, bot mode sniper. He's coming up as soon as I say so. And gonna be a bit before he walks over there, so I'll have to wait for him to make the trek. But you already have Howard and friends over by Al-Qaeda. They're making some space. Actually, Soapy's bombing in. Maybe having bot mode be the setup for a counter initiation sack, but Laz finds a way into Logan. One more shot and able to take out the demo. That's huge. They're only going to really have bot mode for some serious lockdown in the choke, as he is on top of the crates. There are going to be some, oh my god, Ash, goodbye. Deleted almost out of the server pretty much, and high 5 is going to be kind of caught. He's battling with 2 threes, taking some bot shots, and will eventually die. So yeah, bot mode, definitely all the lockdown you need despite not having a demo. And with 2 dead for the side of Witness Gaming, yeah, they're poised. They want an Uber exchange right now. The Uber comes out, finding their way into sewer, but unable to find Howard immediately. It's going to be a little bit of a milk, so they're going to have a much, much worse Uber here. The Uber eventually over. Going to try to blast their way back as soon as they can, but the collapse. That they put all their eggs in one basket. They were going to be able to catch at the right timing, but the timing was very, very off. They're able to get a couple. There's a lot of G6 players that are dead,
but they only have 2 scouts left alive, and one of them has to go back for a pack. So there's no aggression here. I mean, there's not too much defense for the side of G6. They could poke around afterwards if they kind of disrespect the ability of just Logan and bot mode to lock down these doors. But these are probably the best 2 you could have to lock down doors. So we'll see if Witness Gaming is going for it, and they're poking around at least. But the question is, will they hard commit?
Yeah, it looks like they're at least sending 2, so it's going to be a double if they get nothing. If they do get onto bot mode, so at least that's going to be a kill for their troubles. Looks like they do have a lot of positioning actually onto second, so I think that's going to be a successful push-out attempt from Witness Gaming. Going to be trading out Logan stuff from Lazar to get the pick onto him in that sewer area. So now Leica G6 is going to have maybe a bit of trouble trying to lock down these, but with actually both soldiers down on the side of Witness Gaming. I think they're just going to be content to take this up, and the Uber ad from the side of Leica G6, Sophie Meister flying in super deep, a little bit of a fadeaway bomb to try and scare those Witness Gaming players. Oh, yeah, Artist with the
Just
pipe.
over the wall.
Oh my God, great stuff from him to drop out onto Howard. Once again, another drop on the second from Howard. Really unfortunate there, just killing all momentum that his team had. We're going to have to see if Leica G6 can out the stops to get the force out on the low guys. It looks like Witness Gaming going to be trying to work their way in through choke here.
Yep, should be relatively free. You do have bot mode behind though. I mean, you just kind of use your heals, then try to do damage and don't get mulched. But might see some initiation coming from the red team, or at least trying to buy some time for bot mode, who is going for a back cap, and he might actually get this. They're going back now, but yeah, he does indeed collect it. So there is going to be some presence from the side of G6 over here, and bot mode isn't immediately melting. He's hiding in one, will eventually die. Laz and Branson working together to clean up that kill, but so much time is bought for his team. They've respawned, they're set up at mid, so I mean, they have an ad to work with, and they are down a scout, but it's a better opportunity for G6 to get this force, and immediately it'll come out, launching themselves through IT, trying to catch a soldier, eventually jumping out, and they will give up their health to make sure they do indeed launch themselves out of there. So overall, Uber will get nothing more than just the point.
Yeah, it won't. Really great heads-up play from bot mode to go for the back cap and buy his team time to set up there. So now it's a leapfrog situation. I was going to call him Harold. Howard and crew have a good Uber ad to work with here. Going to be trying to peek it, trying to see how Gaming are holding this, maybe trying to soldiers, see if they're not in the Seagull spot or some other hiding position. Actually, they do have 100%. It looks like they're not really geared up to push this. Looks like they're just going to be happy to sit it out. Maybe they don't think it's as big of an Uber ad as it was, or maybe they're just happy to take things slower. So it is going to be grounds for Witness Gaming to get their Uber. We're going to head into another stalemate. This time it's going to be Witness Gaming trying to break it.
Yeah, I think G6 probably thought that they didn't have as big a bad as they did, or maybe part of it was artificial, like boasted by a bit. Maybe a low guy was like accidentally not healing for a sec. There's no way G6 could have known that, made it bigger than it was. I didn't really see exactly how big the margins were, but nonetheless, I mean, they've been okay defending for now, so we'll see what Witness Gaming brings to the table. They're going for an IPT push themselves, unable to really find Soapy Meister, as he's not that aggressive, but there might be an opportunity for someone to go behind, and High Five is doing just that, especially with Laz. He just launches himself in, and Howard ain't able to get the surf off. Howard and Logan falling, so much carnage, and immediately G6 just crumbles over the course of what 3 seconds? They gave him a couple resources from the side of Witness, but they're very happy with the fact that they have this Uber ready to go. They're just through sewer, and there's no G6 to be found. So back to Laz, got a gun, got a sniper, but no Uber to work with for the side of G6. So Witness Gaming are looking pretty good here.
They are looking really good. You know, these jobs from Howard have just been very crucial in netting Witness Game. A lot of ground. So now they are going to have 100% Uber to work with. Looks like just moving themselves into lobby, peeking out, trying to see where the sentry gun is, trying to spot things before they commit to the push, you know, distributing those buffs. They got a lot of time to work with. Howard already at 6%, so they might be able to get super late game, but taking down the sentry gun early. Great stuff. Initial play right there. Going to be taking down Soapy Meister as well. He's super weak. Bot mode goes down as well, and that's going to be 2 picks already in this Uber. Caps does trade out with Zilly, but that's not going to be enough. And that is going to be 2-0 for the side of Witness Gaming. Good stuff. A bit slower rounds, but once again, they've just been to keep a hold of this game so far.
Yeah, that last push, they lost so much of their health, actually, Witness. I was almost thinking for a second that they might immediately melt off their combo just being red health, but the only 2 kills they got at the beginning were the scouts, so with no hit scan, you're not going to be able to clean up those red health players, and they're going to be able to survive and get that cap. So back to their mid, 2-0 in favor of Witness Gaming so far, and so it looks like these teams are playing pretty centralized when it comes to their mid. No one's playing a ring around the roads here, playing hard to a side, but you see some fake bombs coming out. Initiation from the side of Zilly, maybe committing a little bit, but it's going to be Ash, the first one to fall. High control from G6 so far, which is, I think this is the first time they've really had control over it. Bransam going to be able to fall from the side of Logan, Artist cleaning up bot mode in turn, so Witness Gaming is losing a lot, only really getting 1, and G6, they're able to control that mid and make sure that 2 is locked down as theirs.
Yeah, they definitely are. We do see a pesky Laz in that upper IT area, maybe just trying to see if he could go for something, but he gets spotted out and he smartly decides to meet back up with his team and not feed. So they are going to have everyone for this last defense. Ubers are even because Little Guy managed to survive there. Gonna be interesting to see how they try to break the Soapy Meister, trying to get in through 5, but he's met with a sentry gun. He's just gonna die. Actually, no, it's Caps that dies for him in place of him. He got kind of stuck up against the wall. So looks like he might try and send Vlad in lower. Yeah, he's gonna jump in. Actually, they commit 2 for it. They get the force out. Howard making sure that he doesn't drop again. So, I mean, I can't really blame him when he's already dropped 3 times in the match. So, maybe a bit wary of those Witness Gaming soldiers. So, looks like a G6 maybe trying to peek in here. Brand Slam down super low. If they can get the pick on him, they might be able to do something. Go for a force play onto Low Guy, but no, they are going to back up though. You have a heavy coming up. I was going to dissuade any of them from trying to push in. So now they're going to have to try and go for a force onto Low Guy. Looks like they're going to be once again pushing out here through 1. Going to try and clear all those stickies. Zilly getting a nice pick out onto Ash, but he's going to be, Botman's going to trade out for him in his place. Zilly going to try and go for maybe a back cap attempt, but he gets taken down. So now 2 down on the side of Leica G6. We're going to be bombing into Artist super deep, actually just deep enough to scare them away. So that is going to be a cap up for the side of Witness Gaming. Howard, however, in all of that is going to have Uber, so they are going to be able to sit here on mid to second.
Yep. Seems like the most common scenario we've seen so far is G6 owning mid, trying to go for a couple stacks, but it's not really working out their way with being able to collect rounds. So we'll see if they're able to try to get enough success to maybe steamroll some things. Going through IT with both scouts and a medic, and it looks like it's going to be an exchange with only 34 seconds left. I didn't even realize. Immediately going onto the demo, trying to see if they can get any last round before things kind of even out, searching towards over high 5 and last to maybe get some sort of flint kill. Howard will die at the tail end of things. The rest of the G6 coming through like a swarm, and Log Guy is just out of there with the rest of Witness Gaming as well. They've pretty much left 2 entirely to make sure last can be defended. Both medics are going to fall, but G6, they've given up so much. It's just bot mode left alive. There's a couple weak players from the side of Witness Gaming that he can maybe kill. He gets Laz and maybe even Ash. Ash is at 4 HP.
So he might get
is this the
Slam.
beginning of his frag video? He's gotten 2. He can't get the round. There's 2 seconds left, but no, he only gets 2.
Good stuff regardless, you know, even if it's just some inflated numbers on his logs. But still, that is going to be 2-0 for Witness Gaming in this first half. Really, you know, good performance for them. A lot of back and forth action right there. But you got to be a little bit concerned. Like a G6, obviously, this is your map. And, you know, being down in your map, not as you know, comfortable as maybe being down on the enemy's map pick. You know, that one, you can say, oh, they picked it. They got something going on there that we haven't quite figured out. You know, it's their map, but this is your map pick, and this is do or die for them. At least in this best of 3. So they've got to really try and make something work. It's definitely, I don't know if you've seen this, but it's definitely been Howard. It feels like dying in very unopportune times when when it looks like they have grounds to push onto Witness Gaming second, or they've got an opportunity to get. Howard has just been, you know, kind of dropped there. So do you think that's his positioning? Do you think that's them not looking out for those Witness Gaming soldiers, or do you think that's maybe someone on the flank not holding down those doorways? What do you think is really biting Witness Gaming, and I mean, like a G6 in the butt here?
I mean, before I even look at the logs too deeply for comparisons, immediately, like if you go to the actual logs rather than the thing that's displayed on the screen, Howard has 4 drops and
Mhm.
4 more deaths than Little Guy. So that is a big factor in why things are less in their control. I would want to say that's the primary thing and how things kind of, you know, unhinge. That's been one of the things that actually leads to some of the rounds that we've seen, or at least not necessarily rounds all the time, but at least tons and tons of ground just lost immediately, 2 points down the drain. Um, and I think a lot of it comes down. It's not every single scenario because sometimes it's been a little bit different. Like sometimes it was spam, but one thing that even bleeds into what we've seen with Snakewater when it comes to some of the forces, not even drops that Howard has, because he seems really confident that he will get surfs off, and the first rocket will hit him, and he'll jump, and he'll, like, kind of surf, but not actually surfing away. He'll just kinda surf a little bit to, like, up or to the side, and then he's in a prime position to get second rocketed, and he doesn't force. I don't think he's recognizing quick enough that, like, he is in a bad situation, so a lot of these forces are not just like, "Oh, you got synced by 2 people at the same time," like, bad luck, that sucks, like, sometimes that's happened, but I feel like a lot of the time it's just been he has been confident and then misjudged the situation and then just
Mm.
kinda suffers for it. So, I feel like, unfortunately, not to call him out, I feel like it's slightly individual, honestly.
Mm.
But, I mean, good enough of a player that he should be able to recognize that and fix things. I think in the heat of the moment, things can kinda get to you, and you just take a
Yeah.
sec to figure out what you need to do and what you need to change. He's shown a little bit that he's willing and able to pop earlier, and we've seen that throughout the course of the match. That's kinda made some scary scenarios work out okay because his team's able to get saved and everything. But at the end of the day, the number of drops are still there on the board. Like, you can't change the past, and that's the situation they're in now. So there's still some adjustments to be made. Still got this whole second half ahead of you, so there's still some potential for some comeback there. We've seen plenty of wild comebacks in the past, like complete reverse sweeps. So, a loss of by 2 rounds isn't anything to go super crazy about when it comes to woe is me. But
Yes.
there's still some work to do from the side of G6. Still got the
Yeah.
work cut out ahead of them.
Definitely, but like you said, it is definitely doable. Obviously, it's not like they got 3 owed, in 7 minutes or something like that, and we hit the time. No, we hit the time limit, so it's been very back and forth. They've been holding their own as much as they could, um, with the way things shook out. So it's gonna be, if they can fix that problem of Howard dying, if they can fix the problem of them all dying, obviously they do a lot better. Still, if they can, help protect Howard a bit more and make sure they don't have as many drops, I think they definitely because it looks like they've been getting okay, like on the team fights. They've been winning them, they've been losing them, so they definitely have a DM and the capabilities to take it in this gaming. It's just making sure that they keep their very important players up while that's all happening, and making sure that those sacks don't really net as much of an advantage for Witness Gaming as they've been, but looks like we do have one of the teams readied up. And who do you think is like the player that you'd want to see? Like, who do you think needs to pop off from like a G6 to really make a difference here, if it's anyone?
I think I'm kind of curious to keep my eyes on Soapy because Soapy is
Okay.
by far probably the number one player that has had really flashy and insane moments. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw like all 3 of his air shots that he hit were absolutely insane this match. But then you look at his stats and his ability to like help like secure kills has kind of been like he's kind of been thrown to the wayside. It's very, very
Yeah.
clear that he's the classic, like, all right, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go first, I'm gonna do the bare minimum 2 rocket damage to get 200 DPM. I'm gonna die for my team, and like I'm gonna be the person that makes space so everyone else can get in. But it's also shown, at least from our perspective, that he's also been the person that's like mechanically insane and is ready and willing to pop off if he's the one that's giving space and not the one that has to make space for others. So it's not going to be solely on him, but I'm kind of hoping to see him being given the space rather than the other way around. Um, and maybe he can get some moments to pop off in the same way that, like, you look at the side of Laz, like, he's obviously also been a martyr for his team. He's died the most, about the same as
Yeah.
Soapy, but he's also been like, there's been pre-existing damage that either he has done or his teammates have done that he's found the timing to, make sure that he's able to collect kills on his way out, and that is for sure a trade and a distraction when he goes in. And that's the kind of thing that make or break whether or not the round goes in your favor. So, I think that's a bit of a difference there, at least when you analyze the stats and try to figure out what, you wanna see differently.
Yeah, so Soapy playing that initiator and kind of having maybe a bit worse of a stat line for it, but it's all down to how his team plays. As you said, just wanted to share some things. We are promoting some merchings. All of the sales from the merch is going to help secure the land venue, the RGL land upcoming, and then all sales is to help everyone involved in that production and everything, that making sure that it's a really great opportunity opportunity for everyone. Excited for the RGL land up as well. Shout outs to Rouse for all the graphics that they've done as well, for all of that merch stuff right there. So really great stuff, up in the RGL shop if you want to, while we just have a little lull in the action here as the teams are working things out between them. It looks like we do have Witness Gaming finally readying up. Logan back in the server, maybe just taking a little bit of a break. And you kind of know these players. Who do you think is going to be the hype man on G6 to get them back into it? They're down 2 rounds. They can definitely win it. Who do you think is going to be the hype man in them to kind of bring things up, bring the energy up?
Mm, it's kind of hard to tell for the side of G6. A lot of them can be wishy-washy when it comes to a lot of the personality that they show. So it's kind of hard to tell like who's going to be like the super like hyper positive person that's like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah,
Um, I'm sure that collectively they'll be able to like get their stuff together though, because they've had a lot of insane moments and they've shown a lot of progress. All it takes is just the right person to say the right things, and their morale will stay up where it needs to be. But I'm sure that I believe I kind of think they can get something going here for the most part. They've shown a lot of progress. The only thing, honestly, that's been really hurting them is the drops. Like they've
yeah,
been by far, I think for them, I might be wrong, or it might just be the way that it feels like. It feels like more often than not, G6 own more of the map than Witness Gaming does. It seems like for most
that
of the
is
matches,
true.
they're in
Yeah.
the driver's seat, but things when they go wrong, they go bad wrong, and it just spirals out of control. They lose 2 points, they lose a round, and it's kind of off of the drops and losing a lot of players. So the potential is seriously there for them to like solely get rounds on the board the same way that Witness Gaming did. They just have to, fix their mistakes. On the same
Yeah,
side, though, Witness Gaming, they're no slouches either. They know, even though they got these rounds, that there were things that slowed their progress. As we talked about with Snakewater, they could make some changes of their own. So even if you know the little things you might want to change to make their things go in your favor, you still have to think about what the other team might change, even though they're in a winning position. That
yeah,
can always be the
definitely.
bane of some teams.
Yeah, definitely the mids, I think, for Witness Gaming have been subpar. I think like G6 have, even in the Snakewater game, they've been doing well to make sure they have the better of the mid, even if that's not taking the point, making sure they keep it alive, at the bare minimum, so they can retake it fairly easily. And there's just been a few times just on mid fights where it seems like G6 have been able to push Witness Gaming out just with better positioning. And it looks like we are going to be going live soon. So it's going to be exciting to see how these shape up, what they change, and if they can get back into it like a G6. Obviously, if they win this, we are going to go to a third map, which is going to be product. So that's going to be really exciting to see if we get there. But if not, Witness Gaming are going to move up into the upper bracket semifinals against the winner of Tech and the Cozy Brothers. So stick around for that. I believe we'll be casting it here. Regardless, we're gonna have another best of 3 at the end of this. I'm not quite sure which one are gonna go live. Who are you gonna be watching here on this rollout here, Jared?
I kind of want to watch Laz, mostly because it seems like sometimes he's able to pop off and go huge and like be the space creation for his team, and other times, on Cross in particular, I feel like I'm not sure if Witness Gaming have like a super confident and strong plan B if Laz is unable to get where he needs to be with his bomb. So I kind of feel like he's going to be the linchpin on their success as a default. So we'll see how aggressive and how successful they are.
Yeah, as we do see on the mid, Laz getting a nice early rocket out onto Logan. Once again, it looks like they're taking a bit more of a right side area, but playing a bit central. So getting a bit deep into the enemy's IT right now, going in for a huge bomb. He's going to die by there, Joe. A bit of early aggression, gets a good rocket out onto Lolguy. The follow-up coming in from Silly gets another rocket onto Lolguy, but Lolguy still alive at about like 20 or 30 HP. So he is going to stick around. Luckily, I wanted to call him Harold so bad. Howard did not die as well, and so they are going to have a little bit of a defense on the second, but it's not going to be much. They're just going to have to help in through one at last, going in for the bomb there, but he does die because of it. So not really much at all. Looks like a G6 trying to peek this a little bit, but they don't really have any positioning or work with. So yeah, they're just gonna back up to their last. Luckily, both medics are alive, so it's just gonna be a stalemate for like a G6 here. Bot mode up on the sniper. It looks like the flank was trying to get in through 5, recognizing that no one was there to block it. Luckily, a soldier did jump over to try and deny them there, so Zilly is going to go down because of it. But Brandslam walking in through 3, getting super deep actually onto the heavy. He's going to fall down because of it. A big sack wave from the side of Witness Gaming. They are going to trade out for 2. So it's just going to be even players right now on the field. Spawners coming up quicker, obviously, for like a G6, and that heavy is really going to dissuade any soldier from jumping in.
Yeah, Soapy poked around a little bit, but he knows that he has some respawners to wait for and still has some off classes. Bot mode still on heavy for now until Caps gets up at the very least. So not going to go ahead and have another death there and just chill and hold last for now. Bot mode switching to engineer to have the gun ready and available. Putting a centralized spot, or actually no, that's a dispenser. I'm kind of curious where he's going to put the gun. They've shown a little bit more. I don't know if it might have been a Witness. There's been some left side guns that have helped, like Lockdown 5, that have hurt against 1, so I'm kind of curious if that's going to be the case, and it is. The gun positioning is going to be so that it can't be spammed down nearly as easily by 5, but, oh, Artist dying? I did not expect that over on that half the map, but I did expect that for the Carnage was going to happen, just not a Dome Man death, so no Sticky. Do have a sniper though, so make things kind of interesting. Take some shots as they begin to peek around through the lobby area, and with there being no stickies, this is an ample opportunity for them to try to get some damage. Brandsam taking some damage from the side of Logan, peeking through 1. Has to be careful, he's a little bit alone though. Has Zillion nearby, but headshot into Soapy Meister, and that's the quote-unquote counter sack coming from G6.
Yes, and that is going to be opportunity here for Witness Gaming to move into the lobby. Going to try and get some angles for Brandslam to work right here. Actually, his high five goes down almost immediately. They might actually lose Brandslam because of it. Yeah, Cap's going to be trading out with Brandslam. Okay, trade. That is going to force Witness Gaming out lobby. And so we might see, maybe it looks like Zilly's trying to peek lower right here. Yeah, it looks like he is going to go for the sack attempt. Oh my god, he gets rocketed out of the sky, and I think Artist with a follow-up air pipe. So in last trading out as well, I think by rollout. So a bit worse from the side of like a G6 at the moment. They are down 2, Witness Gaming only down 1, but one of those players is rolling out, I think. So they are going to pressure the doorways while they do have the bit of player added wardage to them. Looks like we do have Ash trying to spam down the sentry gun through 5. He does have high 5 to help run him out if things get a bit dicey as Logan comes over there to try and pressure them back. So yeah, once again, they really have to take down the sentry gun first before they really do a good soldier sack here onto Howard. So they're just going to try and find the space to do that, or maybe try and go for an off-class place, send one of their scouts in, try and go for an off-class, but just going to be trying to peek the doorway, is going to heal everyone up, and it's just going to be, once again, moving back into lobby, just trying to spam out the scout that's peeking them right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what they're actually going to commit to, because before they've shown that they are willing to go through like 5 and 4 and stuff, but with the gun being in that position, it's so hard to spam. Like, I think the previous 2 times that we've seen success break into last with a team holding like this, the way G6 is with the gun where it is by busting around through 1 or 2 and see if we can get a kill that way. Actually, Laz is able to walk through 2 and get some free spam. Ash is able to get some as well, but he has to commit through the door, almost dying, and that's why it's so sketchy with that gun spot. You can't just passively sit on the little awning back behind where Zilly's standing right now. You have to really get in there and almost give up your life almost. So they get some damage, but no kills either way, and the gun will not fall. So gonna have to figure out the new plan, and it's looking like they're thinking about Shutter. Artist is kind of like poising himself over there to maybe clear out some stickies so they can walk through. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is the avenue that they take. Yeah, Ash is over by 2. Logan's gonna rotate over to try to sticky him out. Taking some damage as Laz, so he's gonna have to be careful over in the lobby area. Oh, big damage sinking in on Brandsam, who immediately melts as he turned the corner. He thought he was safe because he had Artist with him, but Artist isn't your medic. You're just gonna immediately die. So 1 scout down. It's not gonna be tons for the side of G6 to work with, especially with the off class still up. But poking around, but I don't think they're really gonna commit too much off this. So it doesn't look like he really wants to bomb in. So Brandsam up on sniper, getting ready to try to break the stalemate the old-fashioned way, so you can pick someone off.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be trying to click on the heads. Looks like he's going to be taking a position here down lower lobby. Just trying to watch 5 right now. I'm trying to see if he can maybe get a peeking soldier, trying to get some spam damage right there. There are stickies there. It'd be funny if he walks into it, but no, he takes down Zilly with a nice headshot. Good stuff there, so that's a great way to open up this push. He can try and go in for a little bit of a deeper pick. Looks like he's rotating over to a rollout. He does get juggled a little bit, but he's able to escape from it, so just kind of trying to find an angle to work right now. Gonna be taking the time, and now, well, yeah, Zilly is gonna be back up, so that pick kind of negated. Gonna be going in for maybe a deeper peek by 5. Ash,
ooh, nice
out in
force.
the Uber. Yeah, the Uber's gonna be coming out right here into the lobby area. It's kind of reminiscent of what Witness Gaming did to like a G6 previously, recognizing the sniper and all was pumped up in one position. Looks like Soapy Meister just barely gonna be able to get out, but like a G6 at maybe the worst end of it. They are down 2 right now. Branchland's still up on the sniper, just taking shots out from 5. No one really here to contest him at all. He does have last to try and protect him. Looks like Cap's going to be trying to run in to try and force him back, but not much really connected at all. It's actually going to be Caps that go down to the double soldier aggression. As from 5 just popping him up and getting the kill. Artist finally taking down the sentry gun, so now Witness Gaming trying to bust in right here from this flank side area from 5 and 4. High 5 can be taking down Soapy last, getting a nice rocket on the Silly. Bot mode going down as well, getting a lot of points out. It's only Logan up right now, and he can't do much of anything, and that is going to be 3-0 for the side of Witness. It's kind of becoming do or die for Lucky G6 here, Jared.
Yeah, that was quite the crumble. They were focused so much on making sure the gun was able to lock down the left-hand side that when it did finally fall, they didn't have a whole lot of resources to help each other. They were very, very split, and there were multiple like 2v2s that happened on either side of the last, and G6 just lost both of them. So it's going to be almost a near wipe. Easy point take after the dominoes fall for the side of Witness Gaming, and they're looking pretty nice right now. Mid to go and see what happens. Last taking some positioning up on the high ground, but G6 are spawning in kind. They actually have their scouts up there now, but immediately Caps walks a little bit too far forward, will melt. Nice direct rocket from Ash onto bot mode, and Artist cleaning up the kill, so no scouts, no dice. Just Silly behind, who's going to cause a little bit of chaos, trying to put some rockets onto Logai. No surf, but no second rocket lives through it. Howard will fall. Logan will be the sole survivor, but not for long as the chase is on. Pop of the air, cleaned up by High 5, takes Ash on his way out, but that is a 1 mid for the side of Witness Gaming.
That is a 1 mid. I think maybe the first in this map, but
I think it's the second, but this is the first convincing for sure.
Yes, definitely, but a very poor time for it to happen, as they are down 3-0 like a G6, and now they don't have any Uber to work with. Now finally Logan, such a late death, he's only now going to be up, so no traps on any of the doorways, and they are now just going to have to thickies out onto the point. So it looks like Witness Gaming going to be healing up, making sure everyone's got their buffs before they go in for this push. Going to be taking their time, working their way into lobby right now. Looks like Artists are going to be peeking, going through Fork, just going to be taking down the sentry gun almost immediately. Great stuff. Now he's going to be trying to sticky up that left side shutter. Soapy Meister just gets deleted. Everyone on the side of Like a G6 just going down super. Caps is about half health. That Heavy doing as much as he possibly could, and this can be 4-0 for Witness Gaming. Now it's really do or die for Like a G6. They've got to have a flawless 5-0 reverse sweep on Witness Gaming, which is doable. They've got 20 minutes to do it, so it's possible, Jarrett, but is it probable? I don't know.
It's a bit rough, especially with that last Soapy just immediately melted getting into that Uber, and Logan unable to die. Things are unable to live through that. It's looking pretty dire. Easy point for the side of Witness once again, and this could be the end of it all. Another mid gonna be in the air. Soapy launching himself forward. Oh, lands right on Logai's head, unable to surf that. Art's falling as well, giving up that life for him, and the dominoes continue to fall. 3v3 scenario, but losing a couple resources. G6, it's just Logan and Howard. They've done this before where they all in for Logai, but maybe they've given up a little too much this time. Howard,
he's
trying to get something. He's just extending his life a little bit, so there's not going to be really heals or anything there. This is actually going to be a pretty huge ad for the side of Logai. He died so early and Howard died so late. That's actually pretty big. So not only do they get mid, this is a late enough death where maybe they can try to dry too before G6 is actually even healed at all. Bot mode's on Sniper. Logan might be able to set up a trap or two, but I would be very surprised if Witness Gaming didn't at least poke their head a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like now that they've got their own heals there. Yeah, Logai at 70% ad, or about like 50% actually. So yeah, they are going to poke their way in, and even if they don't get it now, they can just wait until they get the ad and take it in then, which it looks like they might be able to do. Ash is going to fall into her, so that might dissuade them from doing things for just a minute. Actually, it's crits. I didn't even notice they were building. That's why they were building so quickly. Oh my gosh. Artist goes down. Bot mode getting the headshot onto him. Soapy might trying to come in. Oh my god, he gets leaded from last. Great air shots from him. That's the 1-2 wombo combo, and the air shots from Laz on the Soapy just gets denied. I didn't even notice it was Chris, and it ends up working out. They did lose Lol Guy, but they still get the second point at the end of the day. Howard is gonna have a bit of ad, so it looks like they're gonna be able to and at least peek and poke and prod the second point right now. We do see Ash on the spy.
Oh, he is sticky. I don't know if they saw it. They don't look paranoid. I think it was just a debt that no one really saw. So he is in position to decloak, and it's looking like the prime position. Yeah, he's going for it. They don't know. Howard, he's kind of staggering a little bit. He might be able to get this kill. He's turning around, trying to find a heal target. Tries to settle for a scout instead, but misses it. But it's all for naught because we've been watching the wrong player. Laz went behind, tried to go over the back cap. Going to be unsuccessful there as G6 defend against the spy, defend against the back cap. They're launching themselves forward and able to get themselves on a bit. But Laz, he's found his way onto Howard. No rockets there, though. Oh, how the tables have turned in G6. Looks like they're showing signs of life in this match. They have their Uber ready to go. They don't have an ad per se, but they do have some players to work off of. Soapy's actually relatively aggressive in IT and getting ready to burst out when the time is right. But yeah, actually, they're meeting him in there. So looking like they're ready to try to poke around and see what they can do. The Uber actually coming in immediately. This is just a random exchange trying to come through, seeing how many kills they can get. Soapy's going to die in the middle of it. Maybe almost getting a kill into high five, but Zill's giving his life. Zill trying to go behind it too, being unsuccessful to kill Zilaz. Cap's dying as well, only able to kill high five at the end of the day. So 3-for-1 trade in favor of Witness Gaming. That was extremely aggressive and ambitious, trying to surprise Witness Gaming from the side of G6 there, and it's netting them position they're in now. They're just stuck in their own IT area. They're going to be able to kill Ash, but Logan's cut out, going to die. Oh, arrow kill from Howard on the Laz, barely alive. How does he do this? For how much he's had trouble in the first half, he's starting to shape up in this second half. Down a demo, but they still have some players to work with. Nice rockets onto Artist. Soapy trying to cut them off, giving up his life, trying to make room for his team. Zilly launching forward, putting a lot of damage to them, but the second rocket doesn't quite hit, not quite able to collect that kill into Artist or Lolguy. Still initiation coming from Zilly, making more space the rest of the team, unable to use it to try to push forward. They successfully, the action isn't stopping. Ash behind, he's gonna immediately melt though. The room is created, Zilly falling, Artist a little bit too deep, gonna fall as well. The Dominos are continuing to fall, 2v2 scenario in terms of depth, traded no domain for the side of Witness Gaming as begin to push forward, but they do have the small ad, it's dwindling. It's turning into even, so they do have some room to take here, but G6, the respawns in their favor. Actually no, they lose Logan and let the cap go. Brain Stamps on a 10k, someone stop this man. They're looking forward into the choke, trying to some damage onto cap, 50 HP, chasing it down. They want to get the scout kill and put the exchange in while Logan's still dead. Force onto Howard, he's dropped low, counter initiation for the red team, but they're not even chasing the Uber. They're trying to just hold their ground on the high ground and make sure they can prevent the solar bomb coming from Ash. He's launching himself forward a little bit, brings space, the rest of the team pushes himself forward, some damage onto high five, but Soapy will just give up his life for it. The skirmish continues, trying to get high control. Ash taking an arrow, but Laz bombing forward, taking his position. Nice rocket into bot mode to let him out of the fight. So no scouts able to really fight at all. Both red HP. This is not good from the side of G6.
Zilly going in deep.
Trying to salve it. Damage. Oh, the melee on the Ash. He gets him. Oh my god.
Oh my days. A huge exchange right there from second on to Leica G6's last. This might be do or die for them. If Witness Gaming caps this up, they're going to take it away. Looks like they're walking in. They do take down bot mode. Got a lot of space here. Through rollout, can be taken down Artist as well. This is still doable for Leica G6. They have to focus fire these players down. High five is in position to be cleaned up. He's going to escort Lolguy out. Looks like it is going to be Branstone into the area. He's on a 12k right now. Oh my days right now. Ash is going to die to his own rocket, trying to rocket jump away. Unfortunate for him. And now it looks like this gaming gonna just have their scouts here to really defend for a short while. And so now the soldiers are gonna be bombing in. We do see Laz up on that high ground. He's gonna be pushed back. Zilly going down as well. So now, yeah, it looks like Witness Gaming gonna be able to defend here pretty easily. They didn't have to use, so it is still gonna be a stalemate. But they might try and work with player pick. Yeah, it looks like Branstone peeking that 4 right now. Yeah, high five and Laz peeking 5 as well, getting a bit of space. We do see Soapy bombing them, trying to get the kill. He is gonna die because of it, actually. High five in a 1v1. Oh my god, he wins that against bot mode. Really great stuff from him there, but it is gonna be caps going down as well. Everyone on the side, Witness Gaming, the scouts have died. It's just the soldiers right now. It's kind of a projectile versus projectile fight at the moment. No scouts on the field whatsoever. We do see Dilly just jumping around. He gets the trade out onto Laz. Ash going to be cleaning him up as well. Ash going up to block that roll block Logan from getting cheeky spam damage. Now looks like we are in a better actually no, the Uber is going to be used from the side of Witness Gaming, just going to be bombing in once again, taking down Trickgun. They are trying to lock down that left side shutter. It's going to be Artist. He gets the pipe out onto Logan. Great stuff here, but 2 down on the side, and they win it. They just stick on the point, and that's going to 5-0 for Witness Gaming versus Leica G6, winning that second map and winning the best of 3 series.
Yeah, these Witness Gaming last pushes very consistently. For the most part, tons and tons of kills every time they try to push last. Maybe a couple exceptions, but I feel like a lot of the time they immediately get a tease kill where they bring a soldier forward that feels like he has to stop the point. They got Logan a lot in those last pushes, and round after round, that was a much more convincing win on not even your own pick. Able to take away process, and Witness Gaming are moving on to the upper bracket semifinals.
They are indeed moving on. They are going to be playing Froyo Tech, the winners of the Cozy Brothers matchup. Spoiler alert, I guess, for those who weren't paying attention to that one. So it's going to be interesting to see that upper bracket semi. I believe it's going to be covered here. Just looking at the logs for the second half of the process game, just monstrous amounts of damage just coming out from everyone. Logan actually hitting 401 DPM, so he was definitely putting in the work, even if his team there to follow up on it. A bit unfortunate that, but just yeah, it's funny, looking at it. It looks like Witness Gaming had a much better time on the mids, winning every single one. Sure, a few of them were kind of asterisks awarded to them because Howard was able to out alive and repush, but just really great show from Witness Gaming. You would have thought that this was their map pick by the way they played and by the way they were able to control the entire map, really.
Yeah, Witness Gaming definitely showed that they were very comfortable playing on the back foot. Despite all the mids that they lost in the beginning, besides them being able to turn around in the second half and win every single one of them, they are totally okay with playing defensively on their own too constantly, and even like owning mid and then immediately trying to hold back and add from Howard. So they definitely showed that even though that they took some losses somewhere, that they were much more the well-rounded team and made sure the defense was really good. For the side of G6, I mean, they had some promise. They showed some good ability to have some aggression, but just not quite enough to go as deep as Witness Gaming did when it came to taking ground, taking points, and their defense left a little bit to be desired, especially on last beyond the stalemate. So it feels like the big thing was as soon as there was no gun, it kind of all came crumbling down for the side of G6 when they were at their last.
Yeah, High Five and Laz were able to get in through 5 and 4 so cleanly. When there wasn't anyone there when there wasn't a gun there to block them. But we do have some of the Witness people in here. We've got a one of them, LOL guy, for a little bit of an interview from that best of 3. LOL guy, how are you doing?
Hey, doing great. Amazing.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the Snakewater pick and what led you guys to kind of lean towards that map?
Well, ever since like our team's been playing, we've been pretty good at Snakewater, and it wasn't really my first choice personally, but they wanted to play Snakewater, so we picked it. Yeah, we've been pretty good at it for a while, so that's the reason why we picked it.
Was the slow pace at the beginning kind of what you expected, or were you kind of thrown for a loop at how kind of like through the trenches it felt like?
I'm pretty sure we knew that they were gonna play pretty slow, because that's what's kind of messed us up in the past when we dropped some maps and games to other teams. So it's not too surprising, but obviously wanted to win a little quicker because we got a long day.
I think Snakewater in the beginning you did a lot of like kind of flanks and back caps. Do you know if, I mean, obviously you're not on the flank, but do you know if that's something that they try to plan ahead of time? Like this is going to be our A1 strategy for trying to like take rounds and get ground? Or do you think that's more of a, you hear that happening at the heat of the moment, they notice it and they just go for it when the opportunity arises?
It was kind of something that we just did in the middle of the game because of how slow it was. We didn't want it to be slow anymore, so if they would Uber, we wouldn't try to do standard stuff and just repop in. We want to do cause some fights and make some chaos, I guess.
Yeah, is that the same idea? Because on a few of those last pushes, you guys just ended up just forcing the Uber exchange like through lower. You just bomb in if the double sacks weren't working. Was that kind of like the same idea? You just wanted to get the action going and just try and win in
Yeah,
the Uber
that's
exchange.
that's the idea because Snakewater is so hard to push out a last with full ad against a lot of teams because there's just a lot of ground. You can you can just stay there and fight. So yeah, we tried to do that, but they ended up just not pushing out anyway.
So going into process, you got Snakewater fresh off your mind. You get an idea of what they're bringing to the table. Were there any adjustments that you kind of took away from Snakewater that you tried to implement as process started to begin?
Well, the sniper, we didn't want to deal with sniper, so we did that exchange in sewer that one time and it was good. But then we did it again and it was bad. But we didn't want to deal with the sniper because it's just annoying. And we don't like playing against it because we get antsy, I guess, and just feed. But yeah, we don't want to play against sniper, so we tried to do the exchanges. And then pushing in the mid's pretty hard on that map as well because of how big it is and just the spam. So we would end up be pushing in and then we'd be losing our ad. So then we either wouldn't get the point because someone would die, and then we'd just be forced to use and it'd be a bad Uber. But I didn't really expect them to pick that map. I thought they would pick Bagel or something because they've been good at that and it was up.
I think probably the best and biggest example of you guys like trying to fight against something difficult and then successfully like turning things around was probably maybe process second half when you kind of turned things around and won every single mid. Can you talk a little bit about, halfway through the process match, you've only won one of the mids, and then you talk a little bit, and then all of a sudden you win them all three of them. What were the changes that you kind of made or things that you addressed to kind of throw things back into your favor?
On process?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because the mids that we were trying to do is like it didn't work against them because they were playing pretty passively, and we would have Carter die or Ash die pretty early, and then we kind of wouldn't be able to win. So we just decided to just counter jump them because if they were playing so passive, they wouldn't be able to help them. So it ended up working. I honestly, I was kind of just out of it mentally the second half of process because I've been playing for so long.
Well, I'm not sure the order of the matches if it's going to be the lowers or the uppers, so hopefully for your sake you get a little bit of a break. But
Oh, so they're not. It's going to be like they're not going to be played together again. They're going to be split out.
I think they're going to be split out. Yeah.
Okay,
so
hopefully we get a break.
I mean, maybe it won't be, but okay. Well, either way, I know that you definitely have some pick bands to do and stuff like that. So we'll let you go back to your team to figure that out because you do have Froyotech up next.
Yay.
Well, congratulations regardless on it to the upper bracket finals. Any quick shout outs you want to give, Low Guy, real quick?
Shout out to my team. Obviously they beat us. G6 beat us at LAN, so happy to beat them there. Shout out to G6. I love those guys. Shout out to my boys. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be talking to you when we beat Froyo.
Well, we'll see what happens. Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks, man.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to wait a sec for the next matches to go underway, as both the teams that are now in the uppers and the lowers have to go ahead and do their pick bands. They just played for however long and definitely need to take a breather and try to figure things out and make sure they got everything underway for their next set of games that are going to be played. We do have Froyo versus Witness and the Cozy Brothers versus G6 that are going to be played today. They will be done before the day is over, so definitely don't want to wait too long and stick around because those games will be played and finished tonight. But I think we're slowly reaching a point where we should take a break ourselves, take a halftime, do ad break to make sure ads don't run in the middle of the games, and give everyone a second, players, casters, and viewers alike, to get everything situated and prepare yourselves for the next series we have underway. So I think it's about that time.
I agree. So for now, that's going to be just it for us. Stick around because we've got the upper bracket semifinals. It's going to be Witness versus Froyotech. You do not want to miss it. So stick around and we'll see you guys in just a little bit. Peace.